to happen in an hour. It's about to happen in an hour. I'm getting ready, and then I'm gonna like munch on some food. Like munch on some food. Let's see. Oh no, anyone who's interested. Let me just send it to anyone who's interested. Jason. Not yet. Next time. Dr. Truth. Anyone who's interested. Thank you guys for being here. If you want, you don't have to, but if you can, tap your screens like the live. That helps me to get more people in here. I'm setting up for my debate that I'm going to be hosting in like 30 minutes, and that's really all I'm up to. But yeah, it's starting in like 30 minutes. My eyes hurt. I need to find my glasses. That's not what I need. What's up, Nick? What you got for me?
Oh, I was just going to ask, guys. I was looking down here at the bottom. It says the chosen Jewish apologetics.
You.
Are you Jewish?
Oh no. I'm hosting a debate between two creators in like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. Of course, I believe Jesus fulfilled what you got right here on the page. What do you believe? Just out of curiosity.
I'm an agnostic, so I'm open-minded to God existing, but like I'm not really compelled to believe that God exists.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I'll pray about that.
Okay.
I'm not 100%. I'm saved. I have received the Holy Spirit, and it changed me completely. And even when I look at scriptures now, things come alive, and I see stuff that I never saw, and I actually have a conscience now that I didn't have before. I grieve over sin. I still sin just like everybody else, but I grieve over it. I don't sin as much, not even near like what I was. But before, it was like a desire to sin. Now it's like when I do, it's just like I've really messed up, but God forgives me,
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
I guess for me, I'm kind of just I'm doing my research. Yeah, like I don't know if God exists. I'm kind of doing my research. I'm not atheist. I'm not Christian. I'm kind of just in the middle.
I don't adhere to any denomination. If that makes you feel any better about it, I've been in different churches. Like Methodist, Pentecostal for a short time, Baptist, and I even got Catholic friends.
I left Roman Catholicism.
The thing is, probably for you, it sounds like, and you're probably doing it, to research scripture, as because it's historical.
Mm-hmm.
It's written by many. All the books are written by many people that lived in different places in different times. I mean, it's real.
Yeah. What you got for me, good old?
No, I just want to know if you affirm the existence of the three laws of logic.
I believe that the laws of logic are character traits of our universe, and like the literal laws.
So you affirm they exist?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Can I have the justification for that?
Hey, what?
Yeah.
The justification for the laws of logic that exists?
I'm still figuring that out.
I'm still
figuring that out.
Logic, right?
mean, yeah, like I believe the laws of logic are like inherent character traits of our universe, and we use like words to describe it.
You're just saying that it's a pattern. Since there's a pattern, that makes it basically a universal truth. But
Yeah.
that's a big jump. I need to
Well,
just have a pattern. Since there's a pattern, that makes it basically a universal truth. But
yeah.
that's a big jump. I need to
Well,
just universal truth. It's a pattern that happens. That means it's going to be universally true.
I'm not. I haven't even gotten to the point of saying that it's universally true. I'm just saying that I
So the
observe.
laws of logic are not applied everywhere, right?
I'm just saying that from my observation points, they're just inherent character traits of our reality.
No, I don't think you're tracking what you're saying. Never mind. The suffering servant is going to be Jeremiah. What do you think about that?
I'm not debating it. I'm hosting the debate for it.
Oh, when is
Well,
it
Nick, you
happening?
should debate it, but I'm not sure why you're not.
I'm an agnostic. I'm hosting a debate between these two creators on the screen over.
Oh, you're agnostic, so you don't even believe in the Bible, so it's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I do. So may I ask a question, please?
Go for
I
it.
don't think he's here to debate that.
No, he's not, because you can't debate it.
I
He's
mean,
not a
like,
Christian, so
No, I mean
is it okay for me to ask
you
the
could debate the
question?
Bible
I mean, you
without being
can
a
still debate the
Christian.
Bible without being a Christian.
You're agnostic. You can't debate the Bible. Come on.
Yes, you
I mean,
can. You
yeah,
can
he
read
can.
No,
and
you can't. No, you can't.
yeah,
I'm
you
pretty
can.
sure he can if he have the
Read and
knowledge.
Okay.
study it.
So can I'm so sorry. Can I just ask about the prompt?
Go for it.
Thank you. Who is suffering?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. Who is the suffering servant in Isaiah?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking anyone. That's the prompt.
I mean, yeah, but like, I'm not debating it. I'm hosting a debate in 30 minutes between two
No,
individuals over.
sir, the prompt says, who is suffering?
Bro, I think she's slow.
Who is the
I think
suffering
she's actually slow.
servant
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus,
in
Like,
Isaiah?
your answer
So I'm
is
asking,
Jesus fulfilled it.
okay, but I'm asking, the prompt says, who is the suffering servant in Isaiah?
yeah. Do you understand like
I
what's
did.
gonna happen
Yeah.
in 30 minutes?
No, I got it. I got it. I'm just
Let
asking.
me help you out. Just go to Isaiah 53 verse 2. Read it for us.
So you don't know. So you don't know?
No, it's Isaiah 53 verse 2. You know what? I'll have it on the panel here. Let me look it up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, life is good. My eyesight's a little bit wonky, but no, I'm doing all right.
That's good, bro. That's good. That's good.
Amazing.
House,
So do you want to pull it up, or
real quick?
I'm sorry, do you want to pull it up, or you want me to pull it
I
up?
already have it. I already have it.
Okay. Okay,
Can I
great.
have big screen real quick?
Thank you.
Yeah. What up, Bobby?
All right. See, this is the suffering servant description, right? So he
Can you
had
read
no
it?
beauty.
Can you read it?
Yeah. Wait. Let me. Yeah. He grew up before him like a tender shoot, and like a root out of a dry ground. He had no beauty, meaning the suffering servant was ugly. He had no majesty to attract us to him. Nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. Do you believe that God or Jesus, unlike the appearance that we should desire him? Do you believe that God or Jesus is ugly?
I believe that Jesus was not a man to
Was he
be
ugly?
admired.
No, according
He
to
wasn't
verse 2,
ugly, but
was
he
he
was
ugly?
one that not to be sought after by
Physically, he was not a man
attributes.
to be admired. No,
No, so he wasn't beautiful, right?
of course not. He was a man. He was a man not to be admired, according to the Bible.
Perfect, nice. Does he have majesty?
Having majesty has nothing to do with what he looks like.
No, but it says he didn't have majesty either.
Well, maybe when he got here or he was living the earth, You know, he was living amongst us. So he lived amongst men. He
Okay,
lived very,
perfect.
very, normal amongst men, right?
Perfect.
Okay.
Does God have majesty all the time?
Not when you lower yourself down below the angels in order to be
One
in.
because one of the properties in
Actually, God, you know what? God,
uh-huh.
yes. The answer is yes.
Okay, so God or Jesus cannot be the suffering servant in Isaiah 53.
Actually, you asked me about God.
And
Servant in Isaiah 53.
Actually,
God.
okay, but you asked me about God,
So
so the
yeah,
answer is yes.
it's gonna be Jesus, the suffering servant.
No, don't put words in my mouth.
But you just say that.
You asked me about God. I said yes,
You
God.
say that Jesus
Yes.
doesn't have majesty and God have majesty, so it's gonna be Jesus. It's literally that
What's your
simple, man.
question? Sorry, what's your question?
That's my argument. That the
Okay,
suffering
I'm sorry.
servant is
What's
not
your
Jesus.
argument?
The suffering servant is not Jesus. There's another verse also that
The
says
suffering servant is not Jesus. Is that what you said?
yeah, because also in Isaiah
Oh,
53,
okay.
the servant gonna
Jesus
have kids.
unalived on the cross for you.
So how long?
For you.
So how long are we starting? How long is the start?
Any possible way
In
that
20
you
minutes.
thought for
Okay, hold on.
one
Oh, dude.
second that he did not suffer.
You
Hold
got
on.
20 minutes.
Hold on. You're respectfully, guest. Your Messiah didn't fulfill any of the requirements to be the Messiah. He didn't
Damn.
establish a third temple on Mount Zion, according to
Damn.
Zechariah 6:12 and 13.
Trojan, do you believe that the suffering servant is Israel?
Israel, not the Mashiach.
Okay, no, I take the interpretation of Rabbi Ishmael.
And first of all, there's multiple interpretations. Some in the Talmud point to Mashiach ben Yosef, but even if you go that route, it still isn't Jesus. Mashiach
No,
ben
no, no.
Yosef.
I'm saying it's
Walk
about
me off.
Jeremiah. I'm saying
I'm
it's
speaking
Jeremiah, the
truth.
suffering servant.
I'm
The
saying
prophet
you could
Isaiah.
say Jesus this all you want. You can say Jesus,
No,
Jesus,
I'm
Jesus.
not. I'm saying Jeremiah, bro. You're not
Jesus
hearing.
unalive for you. What are you saying? That
He,
he
he
didn't
died for me.
suffer for you?
He died for me.
He unalive for everyone.
Okay, hold on. If
Did
he
he commit
unalive for
suicide? I
everyone,
don't get it.
hold on. If he unalive for everyone, then why in Deuteronomy 4:2, when it says you cannot remove a single law from the Torah, and he went up and he said, "What goes in you does not defile you," which is contradicting Leviticus 13, which says that kosher law is a statute forever in all your
Damn.
dwellings and all your generations. And not just that, we know the Torah is forever because in Micah 4, verse 1 to 2,
Sir,
it says the Torah
you,
comes from Mount Zion.
sir,
So if
Good.
sir,
Jesus died for my sins, why
you
did he
have to
contradict
look
the
at the
Torah?
cross.
I don't care about the
You,
cross. Why did
you
he?
have to look at the cross.
The symbol of the cross is
The
irrelevant to the
cross,
fact that he
what
didn't do
Christ
anything.
did on the cross.
There's no way. There's no way.
He died on the
Bro, this
cross
is
and
funny,
did
man.
nothing, and I'm not going to accept him as a Messiah if he directly contradicts Judaism and didn't do any of the prophecies.
Okay,
There's
then
no
you go
reason.
to hell. What do you want?
If
Damn, that's
anyone's going to
crazy.
hell, it's for sure not me. At least I'm keeping God's commandments.
No, matter of fact,
Well, you're
he believed.
blaspheming the
No,
Holy
yeah,
Spirit
wait, wait,
right
wait.
now.
You know what
So
he believed
you
in? Even if
probably
he
are
was an
going to
atheist,
hell.
wait. Even if he was an atheist Jew, right? He's still gonna go to hell for like 3 days or 1 week or whatever, and then he's gonna end up in paradise. Anyways.
Your
Yeah, and
religion,
no, that's not how that works.
it
Literally,
is.
that's
Your
how
religion
it
is
works
so
for him.
crazy that you believe that if you're not a Christian, you go to eternal damnation. In Judaism, you
No,
can
I
go.
didn't say that. I
No,
said
you believe that.
Dude, you're not,
I didn't say
dude,
that. I never
you're
said
You
not
that. I
better.
believe
never
that.
said that.
Dude, you're
You
not
believe that.
better. You believe that other people that are
I
not
never
Jews, they're
said
gonna
it.
Hold on. Do
reincarnate
Stop.
as a
no,
fish,
hold on,
bro.
hold on. Do Jews
Stop. I
enter
never
heaven?
said that.
Do
I never
Muslims
said
enter
that.
heaven? Do Buddhists enter heaven? Do any of these people enter heaven? Yes or no?
I never said that.
No, I'm asking you. Do they enter heaven? Does a Buddhist enter
Who?
heaven? Does a Muslim
Who?
enter heaven? Does
people
a
know what
Buddhist enter
resonates on
heaven?
them.
I don't know. I'm
It's
not
such
them.
a
I don't know.
Well, why'd you say I'm going to eternal hell then? If you don't know. How
twist
do you know I'm
scripture
going to
so
eternal
I
hell?
didn't
bad.
say that. Oh
Yes, you
my
did.
God.
Oh, we have it recorded, by the way. Did you not say I'm doomed to hell?
Yeah, are you Buddhist?
No, I'm a Jew.
Oh
I'm a
God.
Jew. Okay? Which means that
Okay.
according to Exodus 4:22, me and Israel are the son of God, the son of the Father. So if anyone's
Okay.
going to heaven, it's going to be the people that are the son of
You
God.
know what? I apologize. You're Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah, worship him too, like he
I
did with you.
apologize, and I'm so sorry that you don't love Jesus.
Why? Again,
Yep.
I can't
respectfully.
even
That's
go.
crazy.
I can't even. You know, I can't do it. I
Can I tell
can't.
you why? Can I tell
You
you
could
why?
worship him too.
I'm so sorry
The Jews would have been
that you
happy
don't
to.
love God.
Hold
I'm
on.
so sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. First of all, if Jesus cannot be God and not be the Messiah, first you have to see if he's the Messiah. And the reason why us as Jews don't accept him is very simple.
I
If
don't
he's the
care. I don't care. He
I'll
is
tell
the
you why.
Messiah. I
Hold
don't
on.
care.
I know you don't care because you're ignorant and you have faith
Damn.
I'm
alone.
not ignorant. I
And
know
you
the
are.
truth.
You don't know the truth.
Jesus is the Messiah.
Great. If he's the Messiah, let me ask you this: do you uphold the prophets and the writings? Do you uphold that? Do you believe that the prophets and the writings are true? It's very simple.
The prophets and what?
The prophets and the writings, the Ketuvim.
Of who?
Oh my God, of Solomon, of David, the writings, the
She doesn't know
Psalms,
about those stuff, bro. She's
Psalms.
a prophet.
You know what? You know what? I believe that Jesus is God.
Oh my God, this is like literal
If you
brain.
want to go
Serious?
before that or after that, I don't care.
Okay,
You
let me ask you.
understand?
Guys, she doesn't know. She doesn't know.
Can God?
Jesus is God.
Wait,
So
can
there we
God?
go.
Hold on, you believe in Trinity, right?
Yeah, amen. Yeah.
Okay, the Trinity, right? Great. Are they? Is it three distinct persons? Yes or no? Simple answer.
Well, there's three essences, yes.
It's
You
literally
asked me a question. Can I speak or no?
Yeah, just simple yes or no.
All right, I'm going to be quiet until you tell me I can speak.
Okay,
That's
great. I want you to answer these couple questions. Why do you accept Jesus as a Messiah before even God for a second? As a Messiah, when he didn't do a single prophecy for the Messiah, like for example, a third temple on Mount Zion, according to Zechariah 6:12, Micah 4, and Isaiah 2. A eternal peace and no wars in Isaiah. Isaiah 26, the complete resurrection of all the dead. Those are the three main prophecies for the Messiah. Jesus did none of that. Zero.
Okay.
Literally nothing.
Okay.
So there's no
Haven't read the New
reason
Testament.
Okay.
when we
Okay.
as Jews evaluate,
You want me to?
look, are you a
Okay.
Messiah? I am more, I
Okay.
honestly could be the Messiah more than Jesus. Because at least I keep the law. Jesus broke the law and taught people to break the
Okay.
law. So if anyone's the Messiah, it's for sure not him.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So can I answer the question you
you're
asked
not
me?
special. Even Cyrus, a pagan, was called the Messiah. Bro.
Yeah,
The
it's called the Messiah.
chosen. Can I
Hamashiach.
answer the question or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the answer is
Please, she's gonna say Jesus is God. No, bro.
no. You know what? I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say those words. Here's the answer. Jesus
Damn.
followed God.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Are
god.
we serious right now?
Wow.
Are we really?
I am.
Okay, if you followed God, pull up Deuteronomy 4:2. And I want you to read me that verse. I want you to read me that commandment from God to all the Jews. I want you to read that
Yep.
commandment.
Amen.
So
She
pull it up
just
right now.
cooked you
Pull it up.
guys.
Amen.
Pull it up. And I want you to read it so everyone
Sorry,
can hear.
what?
Pull up Deuteronomy 4:2.
Is it about the kosher laws?
No, it's about
Okay.
it's about and read it. Read it to everyone. What does it
You're
say?
asking me about Old Testament. I don't care about that.
Hold on. If the Old Testament is old and not supposed to be forever, then why in Micah 4 does what come down from the temple, from the third temple when the Messiah comes, it's not the New Testament, it's
Right.
the Torah. It says the Torah goes
Exactly.
forth from Mount Zion. Hold on. And it's
Exactly,
taught to all the nations.
exactly. And
Hold on,
that's
wait,
why
hold on.
I'm so happy that you said that, because you obviously are a believer. And I thank God for that,
What?
because you're arguing with me.
What are you
And
yapping
that's
about?
amazing, because I won't bring up the Old Testament because I'm trying to find
Miss, you're
believers.
not tracking.
I know.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You believe in
Amen. Amen.
you believe in someone who died and did nothing. It's not a good argument. It's like me saying, well, Jesus died on the cross for your sins. So if I were to die tomorrow,
Do you think Jesus died and did nothing?
yes, he literally did nothing. No third temple, no resurrection from the dead. He did
Do you
none of
really,
those
really believe that? You okay, stop. You know what? Give me a minute, please. You actually think that Jesus
Yeah, I'll give you a couple minutes
unalive
to take
on
this
the
in.
cross and did nothing?
Name me one prophecy Jesus did. One. One prophecy he did. Just one.
All right.
You don't have any because he did nothing. And you know he did nothing. So I'm not going to accept someone, and I'm not going to force people who aren't Jewish to accept a Jew
I'm not going to
as a
tell you what
Messiah.
he did for me. I'm not going to tell you what he did for people.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
know,
going to do
because
this.
he died
You
for
don't
our
already
sins,
know. I'm not going to.
except he did nothing.
I feel really sad. I feel very sad for you right now.
I feel sad for people who are not Jewish, who have to be forced into listening to Christianity, which is such a ridiculous religion that it says if you don't believe in
Well, I'm
man,
not Jewish,
you
and
die.
I accepted Christ, but I
Hold on,
feel
hold on.
sorry for you
If
that
the
you
host
don't
right here
believe
on this
that
line,
Jesus
if
unalived
the
on the
host,
cross and did
wait,
nothing.
if the
That's
host right here on this
ridiculous.
live rejects Jesus, does he burn forever in fire? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, what?
If the host right here on this live, God forbid, were to tomorrow not be alive, would he be burning forever
For what?
for not believing and accepting your idol? Would he burn forever?
What does the scripture say?
I'm asking you, you're a Christian. I'm asking you, do you believe that is true, yes or no?
What are you asking me? What is true?
This is so straightforward. Oh my God. If anyone on this live, I mean, host, does not accept your idol of Jesus, tomorrow, if I were to pass away, would I be burning
My
forever?
idol of Jesus. What does that mean?
Yeah, you worship a man as God when God repeatedly states that he is not a man, he cannot,
Okay.
he does not take human form.
Okay.
And not only that, God does not have a son,
No,
like a
let me
physical
explain to you.
son.
Okay, so what are you asking me?
I'm asking you if one of us as Jews or any person who's not a Jew on this live, we don't accept Jesus, a good amount of us. So tomorrow, if I were to pass away, or any one of us who doesn't accept Jesus, would we forever burn? I want to ask you that. Would we go to hell forever?
No,
That's
according to you.
Do you
you're gonna go
accept
to hell
Christ
for-
or no?
No, I don't
wait.
accept someone who's not the Messiah. No.
Damn.
Okay, so you don't accept Christ.
No, I told you this 50 times. I don't.
Then you'll burn.
Okay, so you see how ridiculous that is? That means
No.
all the
It's in the
all these
Bible. It's
prophets-
scripture. It's in the Bible.
Show me anywhere in the Torah, in the writings, in the prophets, where it says, not even Jesus. If you don't accept the Jewish God, you're gonna burn forever. Where does it say that? Anywhere.
I think it's written in
All right,
John,
well,
the Gospel of
you know
John.
what? I can only tell you what I've read. So you asked me a question, I answered it. So
What I'm telling, I want you to be open to hearing this right now. What I'm telling you is that your religion does not make any sense.
I don't have a religion. I have a relationship with Christ.
It's literally a
Period.
religion, according to James chapter 1, verse 27.
James.
Yeah, James chapter 1, verse 27 says a religion.
We're about to start in 8 minutes. Just telling you guys.
Is that the supposed New Testament, or is that the
That's
Torah?
the New
writings of God?
Testament.
Yeah. So why would I
James is
accept
the
the
New
book?
Testament.
No, I'm
Why
talking
would
to
I
her.
accept-
I'm not even talking to you. But if we want to talk about like Judaism and how it's like all got into that, well, we could talk about that until you start the whole debate that you got in like
What
8
I'm
minutes.
saying, what I'm saying to her is that when we look to see what are the qualifications for someone to be the Messiah or even God, we have to look in the prophets because the
Well,
prophets.
the thing is,
No,
you
we
have an
don't look
issue.
at
No,
the
no, no.
prophets or
Yes, we
we look
do.
at Jesus Christ.
Can you mute
What
her real
a
quick?
foolish answer is that?
Jesus is not a prophet. He's God.
Oh, he's
dude.
God. Okay,
No,
why
we
would
don't
I?
look at the prophets.
Hold on,
for
why would I
that.
accept him as God? Why would I accept him as God? Give me one viable reason. Why?
Jesus is God. What are you talking
Why?
about?
Why is he God?
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't believe he's God, then
Oh wait, can someone clip
then
this?
I can't help you. I
Can
can't
someone
help
clip
you
this?
there.
This has to be the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life.
I can't help you if you don't
can't
believe
even
that.
Tell
I
me
can't
why your
help
God is
you.
God. Are you serious right now?
If you don't
I'm
believe
asking
that
you,
Jesus is
why-
God, I cannot help you. Done. I can't help
Why
you.
is he God?
Hey,
Why?
Why is he?
barking
Answer.
I can't help you. I'm sorry. I tried.
No, because you can't
I
answer
can't.
the simple question.
Okay, I tried. I can't.
Your
Excellent.
pastors have to do better, like educating you guys, by the way, because this is like really bad at arguing. This is, like,
Actually, you know
ridiculous.
what? I'm the most educated person on the planet because
Oh,
I know
Lord.
for a fact
Oh my
that
god.
Jesus
That's
is
sad.
God, and that is gonna take me to the heavens. Okay, so I
Oh,
am
it's gonna
not.
take you to the heavens.
I
Yeah,
am
wait, so
not. I'm the smartest person on the planet. Thank
I know
you.
you're gonna fly up with Zeus when you pass away,
I'm the
and be so much
smartest
fun.
person on the
Wait, by the
You're
planet
gonna
way,
fly up with
guys,
Zeus
because
and
Jesus
blah.
is God,
guys,
and I'm not worried about what you think. Thank you.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah, okay,
So
we'll
really
see who
quick,
ends up in heaven.
the debate is starting in 5 minutes. We're just kind of chilling right now, but the debate is starting in 5 minutes. Everyone that's here, there's 14 people here. Thank you guys for being here. If you can, tap your screens like the live. That helps push the live out and get it on the For You page. Thank you guys for being here.
Yo, Chosen, can I speak with you real quick?
Hey, Coco.
Someone wants to speak with me?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Coco.
No, no.
What's the debate about this time?
It's on the screen. Who's the suffering servant in Isaiah 53? I'm hosting. Yeah, Dr. Truth. It's going to be Daughter of the King versus the chosen Jewish apologetics.
Ooh.
Chosen, I have a problem for you. Right? Why don't you accept the interpretation of Jeremiah being the suffering servant in Isaiah 53?
Yeah, very simple. I don't accept that. I'll tell you why. There's a couple things.
Why?
First of all, there's a insane amount of parallels of Isaiah 53 and the collective Israel. Like, for example, the collective Israel says, I am led like a sheep to the slaughter. He also says that I have no deceit in his mouth. It says the righteous remnant of Israel has no deceit in their mouth. There's multiple parallels, over 20, compared to 53 to the collective Israel. And every single time the servant's identified in 41 all the way to 49, it's called the collective Israel. In fact, if you go to Isaiah 43:10, it says, you are my witnesses, my servant Israel. So if it was a single person, it wouldn't say, you are my witnesses. It would say, you're my witness. But it says, my witnesses. Even in 53, it's a plural, and I'll show you that.
Isaiah, let me explain how Isaiah prophecies works, right? According to different rabbis' interpretations, right? There's the contextual, the whole thing. There's the midrash of it, right? And there's the shot of it. I think you're already aware of that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. So if we compare Jeremiah, right, and we compare the verses within Isaiah 53, the prophet Isaiah is literally copy-pasting verses from Jeremiah. And I could show you that right now if you want. Literally copy-paste. He's recalling the times of the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah is the one that suffered with the Jewish people. He was led to slaughter. He was punished for the sins. He was threatened to be analyzed. I'll show you all of that right now. Right.
Yeah, you can go with that, but my argument is the shot. It's what it says in the verses, and what is and all the parallels. And I'm going to prove that if you watch this debate. So again, Judaism, there's multiple interpretations. This one's the most prominent. It's that the collective Israel is a servant, and I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it grammatically. I'm going to prove it. It's the point of the debate. Is to prove that Israel is the servant. So you can send me whatever you want about Jeremiah. I'll look into that. In terms of the standard interpretation, it's the people of Israel. And remember, the one who's debating me is a Jew. He's a Jewish Catholic. So I know she knows certain things about what I'm going to talk about. She's familiar with it. So it'll be a good discussion. It's not going to be just, and we'll see how it goes. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm like stuffing my face with food before the debate starts.
Hey Coco, Coco, will you let me debate Darth Dawkins on here?
If Darth Dawkins is willing.
We have to bribe him.
What's up, Mimi?
It's been a while.
It's been a hell of a while.
Chosen, I got the verses for you here real quick.
Hey, can you send it to me? Just text it to me?
Yeah, you have it on the screen
It's just a
actually.
lot easier for it.
Coco, can you give me the big screen real
If you want
quick?
to pull it up, yeah.
Let's see. Go for it.
You see? Isaiah 53, verse 7. He was oppressed and afflicted, Yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent. He did not open his mouth. This is Jeremiah 11:19. I had been like a gentle lamb led to slaughter, right? I did not realize that they had plotted against me, saying, let us destroy the tree and its fruits. Let us cut him of the land of the living. That is the name he remembered no more. Remember, the Isaiah 53 servant is cut from the land of the living.
That's it.
You say what?
Now, what the Christians will argue is that is a couple of things, and what I would argue is that they would a lot of the Jewish interpretations, the I is still Israel, the collective, but also Christians will argue that the I is Jesus. He's just quoting it. So you have to be careful with this type of argument. My argument's a lot more drawn out, and it's given by context and by it's a drawn out argument. Just
No,
try to refute that. What I have is.
Now the thing is, I would say,
also like Lamar.
I would say definitely, I would say that Rabbi Ishmael is more right on this one, right? I do understand why it's gonna be like. I do understand the interpretation to be like Israel. Like I don't have an issue with that.
All right, folks, we gotta get started. It's 7:00, so we gotta get started. I'll keep a couple friendlies up here, but not too many. Let's see. Here, hold on. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna keep Bobby. I'm gonna keep the two contestants, Bobby, J-Rob, Mimi, and let me keep Garrett. Everyone else, I might drop you, but I'll bring you up later. But yep. And let me see. Let me flip my camera. Give me one sec. Okay, there we go. Booyah. Let me grab my notes. And okay, thank you all for being here. There's 14 people on the live. If you all can, just tap your screens like the live and share it with like anybody that you think might be interested in this debate that we're about to have. Like, share, it helps us get on the For You page and get as many people in here as possible. Today, I'm doing Cocomania 4. This is a series where like I host debates by myself, but I also contribute to another project on TikTok called @DayOfDebates on TikTok, where we try to bring professional debates to TikTok. And we host like a lot of professional debates there. Today we have two people competing. We've got Daughter of the King versus the Chosen Jewish Apologetics, and they're debating on who is the suffering servant in Isaiah 53. It's going to be a 50-minute debate, so about like 1 hour. And the format of the debate is going to be 7-minute openers, 5-minute cross-examinations, about 3 rounds of 5-minute cross-examinations, and then 3-minute closers, totaling for like 50 minutes. Then after, we're going to have, comments, questions, critiques, and concerns. But some of the debaters do have to go because they have commitments, and that happens. Life happens. So I'm not going to require them to like stay here the entire time. And yeah, basically that's going to be the debate. In regards to the cross-examination for both of the competitors, during the cross-examination, when it's your turn, you get to control the narrative, and your job is to establish your position and discredit your opponent's position. If your opponent is talking and you want them to stop, you can say, I reclaim my time, I'll stop the timer, and we'll wait for your opponent to stop talking, and then we'll resume the timer whenever like they stop talking. You can control the time, you can control the pacing. It's your cross-examination to basically establish your position and delegitimize your opponent's position. For this debate, normally I have like judges, but we're just going to go audience vote. So if you're watching this debate, in the end, you get to vote for who you thought won the debate. So keep that in mind. Stay, watch the entire debate, put your personal biases aside, and you get to decide like who the winner is. With that, we'll get started. In regards to gifting, we appreciate you guys just being here. Thank you for showing up to my live and watching this debate. You don't have to be here. There's now 26 people in here. Thank you for being here. But if you have any spare change or any gifts, don't gift me, gift the debaters first. Daughter of the King and the Chosen. And then if you have any extra, like gift me the hosting the event. Gifts help me to keep doing my project and producing content. And they also help the debaters to continue producing content and doing their thing on TikTok. So we do appreciate it. If you don't have any like spare change, that's totally fine. We just appreciate you being here, right? So your presence is appreciated. Gifts are not mandatory. We appreciate the gifts, but you don't have to give gifts, okay? It's a hard time in the world right now. The economy is pretty bad. We understand. So with that, we're going to start the debate. I'm going to put a timer on whoever's section it is. And who is the suffering servant in Isaiah? I don't really know who the affirmative and the negation is for this, but I'll just do ladies first. And daughter, you can start with your opening statement, which is going to be 7 minutes. And I can start it whenever you say your first word.
Okay, so I'm not really used to a formal debate, so I wrote everything down, so I'm just gonna read it. Okay, so thank you guys for engaging in this important dialogue. Tonight we're not debating theology, but textual language. My position is that the Hebrew scriptures read plainly and demand that the suffering servant of Isaiah 53 is a single individual, Yeshua HaMashiach. I will prove these 4 things. Number 1, the servant must be distinct from Israel. That the suffering is substitutionary, the servant is vindicated by resurrection, and the servant possesses divine authority. So the corporate reading that the servant is the nation of Israel fails the basic test of logic. Who is the suffering servant? Isaiah 53:8 says, "For the transgressions of my people he was stricken." The servant is stricken for my people. The agent who pays the price cannot be the same group whose sins are paid for. The servant is distinct from Israel. The suffering is substitutionary. Israel is constantly called a sinful nation in Isaiah, but the servant is declared innocent. He had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. If you look at Isaiah 53:5, he was pierced for our transgressions and crushed for our iniquities. This is a substitutionary act. The singular innocent he takes the penalty for the plural guilty our. This fulfills the Torah principle that it is the blood that makes atonement for the soul. The servant is vindicated by resurrection. The servant is cut off in death, but the story doesn't end because in Isaiah 53:10-11, it says, "He shall see seed, he shall prolong days." This is life and reward after death. This is not a return from exile. It requires a resurrection to fulfill. If you go into Matthew 28:6 records the literal fulfillment of those prolonged days. He is not here, he is risen. The servant possesses divine authority. Who can justify the multitudes? Isaiah 53:11 says, "My righteous servant will justify many." To justify others, to pardon sin and declare them righteous, that's a power reserved only for God. When Jesus, the Son of Man, claims the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins, he is fulfilling the divine role of the Isaiah servant. The textual and logical fit for this is Yeshua. That's all I have.
Okay, that concludes your time. You had 4 minutes and 39 seconds left on the clock. So the chosen, now you're going to do your 7-minute opener. I can start your 7 minutes whenever you say your first word.
Perfect. Okay. So to start off, I'm going to first say my claim, and I'm going to address the points she made. So to start off, very simple. The servant, in my claim, is the righteous remnant of Israel. So we have the full, complete Israel with all its people, the unrighteous and the righteous, and the wicked, and the intermediates. And then we have the righteous remnant, who is constantly described in the prophets. Now, I'm going to state why we as Jews, and why we know the servant is 100% Israel. I'm going to start with very simple, with context. Christians are known to take out of context. They will pluck a single verse and ignore the ones before. So we're going to look contextually in Isaiah. Who is this servant? Because it wouldn't make any sense for Isaiah to suddenly talk about a servant without saying who that servant is. So let's start with a couple verses. Isaiah 41:8-9. You, Israel, my servant Jacob, whom I have chosen.
Oh, really quick. It looks like you have bad connection.
Nothing
Let
happened.
me pause you real quick. Let's try to fix your connection, and then we can continue. Just try to fix your connection real quick, and then I'll start you at 6 minutes. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. We'll just wait a quick sec.
No, everything's good.
There we go. Just fixing some internet issues, and then we'll get right back to it. Yep. We'll be right on it. If you guys can, continue to like the live, share the live. Thank you guys very much. The numbers are jumping up. We're getting more people in here. We got 41 people in here. I really appreciate all of you guys being here for this intellectual, educational, and hopefully entertaining debate. Is your connection good, The Chosen?
Yes, should be a lot better now.
Okay.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I'll start whenever you say your first word. Start at 6 minutes.
Perfect. Okay, so back to what I was saying. The context in 41:8-9 declares the servant as Israel, the seed of Abraham. Now, you can make the argument, and many Christians do. This servant is a singular person. Jesus is representative of Israel. Here's the major problem with that. If you go to Isaiah 43:10, it says, "You are my witnesses, my servant Israel." So it clearly identifies as the servant to be the witnesses of God. If it was a singular, it would say witness. That's not what's stated. It says, "You are my witnesses, my servant Israel." The servant is clearly a plurality. Now, 44:1-2 says the same thing. "O Jacob, my servant, Israel, whom I have chosen." 44:21, "Remember, O Israel, for you are my servant." 45:4, "For the sake of my servant Jacob and Israel, my chosen." 48:20, "The Lord has redeemed his servant Jacob." 49:3, "You are my servant Israel, in whom I will be glorified." And 49:1-6, "You are my servant Israel." So every single time the servant is classified in Isaiah, all the way from 41 to 49, which is the last time we see the servant being classified before 53. It is always Israel, and it's a plurality of Israel. That plurality is the righteous remnant of Israel, who comes to bring back the tribes of Jacob to God, which I will show you where they actually gather the nations back, where the righteous have no deceit in their mouth. Now, she will try to claim, daughter of the king, that no deceit in his mouth means he's sinless. Means a servant is sinless. Here's the problem with that. If you go to Zephaniah 3:13, you will see it says, "The righteous remnant of Israel has no deceit in their mouth." So, and this is pre-redemption, by the way. This is when the unrighteous are getting judged and they're getting wiped out and the righteous are staying clean. And then we have from 14 all the way to 20, it talks about the redemption and then coming back to Zion and God forgiving them. So prior to redemption, we have Israel, the righteous of Israel, are called having no deceit in their mouth, which completely desecrates the argument that no deceit in their mouth means they're sinless. Now, I can also prove how Jesus, in fact, sinned himself. I can show you where Ezekiel says the Messiah actually sins and has to atone for his sins to God. So this person right here does not have to be sinless. He has to be a righteous person. And contextually, every single time the servant is identified, every single verse up to 53, he is called Israel. He is called Israel, which is very important, a plurality of Israel. Before I show you guys all the parallels that we will show after Daughter of the King speaks, and how the servant is directly related to the collective Israel through multiple parallels. Before I even do that, I'm just going to show you that her claim that she made, which was the very strong claim she made, it says the transgressions were upon him. I'm going to show you guys right now how Christianity lies and twists verses to make it in their favor when that's not what the verse says. So if you can do me a favor, I don't know if host can pull it up, if anyone can pull it up who's watching the live. If you pull up Isaiah 53:8, if you pull that up, okay? And in the Christian Bible, it might be 53:7. If you pull up Isaiah 53:8, you will see in the Hebrew, it says the transgressions were upon Lamo. Now, Lamo in Hebrew means them. There's over 50 times recorded of Lamo meaning them. There are some basic exceptions with inanimate objects. Like in Isaiah 44, there's certain there's certain times when there can be a type of poetic singular when it's addressed to an object. When it's addressed to the way it's addressed here, which is to a people and to an individual, a collective. Lamo, it is the nearest to the antecedent equals plural. So it's nearest to the plural, which would make it to them. Now, I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take your Christian word for it. If you go to Isaiah 48:21, if you pull up that verse, you will see in Isaiah 48:21, the Christians translate lamo as them. But in 53:8, they change lamo to him. They purposely change it because they know that if they were to translate the Hebrew correctly, and they were to make lamo what it really is, which is them, that it would throw out their entire argument that the servant is a single individual. Because he's not. He's described the entire time as being a collective Israel. There is not a single time where Israel is ever called HaMashiach, the anointed one, the Messiah. King Cyrus is called the Messiah, but there's not a single time the servant is classified as the Messiah. Nowhere. There is not a single time ever where we have the servant being someone who blasphemes Torah, who goes against Torah. And not only that, the claim that she made, that daughter of the king made, which was that it says he was pierced for our transgressions. That's not what it says. The Hebrew there is he was wounded. So again, they try to twist the words to make it fit their figure that they claim to be the Messiah, even though it doesn't fit any of the prophecies for the Messiah. So if you think about this logically, if you look at the collective Israel, if you look at who's described as a servant every single time, in every single verse to 49, it is always Israel. If God can call King Cyrus the Messiah, he should be able to call your supposed Jesus the Messiah. That's all we have.
Okay. With that, you had about 17 seconds on the clock. And then that audience is going to be the opening statements. Now we're going to move on to cross-examination. Daughter, you're going to get the first cross-examination. This is your period to ask questions, make points, or you can talk the entire time. It's just a section for you to establish your position and discredit your opponent's position. If the chosen is talking and you want him to stop, you can say, I reclaim my time. We'll pause the timer and then we'll keep it going once we get everything under control. So for this first cross-examination period, you're going to get 5 minutes, and your 5 minutes will start whenever you say your first word.
Okay, so my opponent claimed that the word lamo means them and not him. So Isaiah 53:8 must refer to the group of Israel, right? But that's only half true. While lamo usually means them, in poetic and in prophetic verses, it is always a single person. In biblical Hebrew, lamo comes from the word lahem, or them, plural, right? However, in poetry, plural forms are often used stylistically or honorifically. So this isn't a change. It's just the way that it's written in the prophetic sections of the Bible, which we call the messianic sections. So here's some examples of where lamo is referred to a him. In Job 27:23, men shall clap their hands at him, lamo, and shall hiss at him, lamo, from his place. Here, lamo is used for a single man, not a group. Even in Jewish tradition. In Psalms 11:7, for the Lord is righteous, and he loves righteousness. The upright will behold his face, lamo. That's God specifically speaking about himself, much like in this verse. The word is lamo. So you can't necessarily say that it's going to be, always has to be plural, because that's not correct. He was despised. The word in Hebrew is a singular word. He was pierced. The word in Hebrew is a singular word. He bore. It's a singular word. And he made his grave. That is also singular. Every verb and pronoun in that passage is singular. So if lamo were truly plural in this case, it would break the grammar train completely. For everything to be singular and that in particular to be plural would not make any sense. The servant is also called Israel, but it's also distinct from Israel. Because the servant in this verse, in 49, Isaiah 49, it restores Israel, so Israel can't restore itself. It bears in Israel's sins in 53:8, which Israel can't do for itself. And it also intercedes for Israel in Isaiah 53:12, which Israel also can't do for itself. So it can't be the nation because the nation can't redeem itself. The servant is never specifically called the Messiah. The word Mashiach doesn't appear in Isaiah 53, but the role of the servant is the Messiah. He suffers innocently, he bears sins, he intercedes for transgression, and he is exalted after death. In Isaiah 53, 10 through 12. So how Israel could exalt itself after death? I guess you'd have to think about it really hard. I don't think it's possible. And Christian translators didn't change this. Even the Jewish Targum Jonathan, which is pre-Christian Aramaic, interprets it as the Messiah. So that was before Christianity even came into play. So that's my rebuttal for that.
Okay. You can also ask him questions, do anything with the remainder of your time, ask questions, talk the entire time.
Yeah, so I guess my one question would be for him, my first question would be, how does Israel redeem itself?
So, as I stated before, there's the righteous remnant of Israel, and there's the unrighteous remnant of Israel. So when it's referring to Israel here, it's referring to that righteous remnant, not including the wicked. It's the righteous. That is, and the righteous remnant, by the way, is constantly described. Now I'm going to give you the verses right now. Or the remnant, in fact, as I already showed you, not only has no deceit in their mouth, but the remnant is the righteous remnant gathers the lost Jews that are sinning.
Right, so I reclaim my time because I want to ask him another question.
Go ahead.
So you made a statement that it is the righteous remnant. Is that the case? Is that what you said? How does the remnant become righteous when Israel is constantly called rebellious throughout the entirety of the Tanakh?
So God actually makes a prophecy for this. He says, I will put you in the furnace of affliction, and the ones who will obey me and have faith in me in exile will be called righteous.
Okay, I reclaim my time. To show me how in the Babylonian exile or in any exile that the Jews ever faced, they still maintained holy and righteous. Because if not, we wouldn't have had prophets like Daniel or other prophets that came to rebuke them. So there was not a righteous remnant. The Jews were exiled because of their disobedience. It wasn't a choice. God punished them because of their disobedience. Thus, right there shows you that they cannot be righteous.
Yeah, so your claim that they cannot be righteous because they sinned and therefore were exiled doesn't make any sense. Because God states in the prophets, the righteous remnant of Israel will return and serve God.
Okay, I reclaim my time. So I reclaim my time. The Messiah is gone. He's not here, right? So where is Israel? When is Israel returned to reclaim their righteousness? Okay, and how did they do that without a Messiah?
Okay, go ahead and answer that, and then we'll go on to the next cross-examination period.
Okay, great. So you're asking, how did Israel do that? Well, it's a prophecy. So the prophecy in the future of Israel returning back to righteousness, which many are doing, by the way, in exile, and serving God correctly, is a prophecy. It has not already happened. If it were to already happen, it would follow the timeline of Micah 4 and of the prophets that the Jews return back to Mount Zion. The righteous will be spared and survive after the wicked are destroyed, according to Zephaniah 3:13-20. And the third temple will be established. But none of those things happened yet. So it's obviously a prophetic thing in the future.
Okay, let's stop it right there. So now we're going to move on to the second half of the first round of cross-examination. The Chosen, you're going to get 5 minutes to ask questions, or you can talk the entire time. And this is the time to establish your position and discredit your opponent's position. If she gets out of control and you want to pause the timer, you can say, I reclaim my time. We'll get her back under control, then continue the time. So you get 5 minutes, and it starts when you say your first word.
Okay, great. So, host, you made a couple claims about the remnant or Israel sinning, and therefore can't intercede for sin. Now I'm going to show you where Moses intercedes for sin, and Aaron intercedes for sin, and Aaron takes the sin of the congregation, and Moses takes the sins of the people. So if you want, I can pull up those verses for you, or I'm going to ask you, can someone who sinned take the sins of others? If not, how did Moses and Aaron do it?
Was that a question for me?
Yeah.
Okay. The word for sin atonement is the asham. How can you have an asham with a sinful nation? How can a sinful nation become an asham? It can.
You didn't answer my question.
I did. The word is asham, right? And asham is a sin offering, and you can't atone for sin when you are full of sin.
Did Moses sin?
Moses interceded.
Okay, so can Moses take the sins of the people?
No, God took the sins of the people.
So if I show you where Moses comes in, and not just Moses and Aaron comes in to atone for the sins that the people did, What are you going to say?
They provided an offering. That wasn't them atoning for anything.
God actually
offering
directly
atone.
says to Aaron, you will atone for the congregation.
And, okay. Go ahead.
So if God says to Aaron, he's going to atone for the congregation, then who's atoning for the congregation?
God.
Okay, hold on. So God's atoning for the congregation, but he says Aaron is atoning for the congregation?
They gave a sacrifice to God, and God considered that atonement.
Yeah, but who takes the atonement? Who does God say takes the atonement?
Well, who receives the atonement is God.
God receives the atonement. From who? Who takes
From the person who gives the sacrifice.
Okay, so in that case, let me ask you. That's the truth. Then am I able, as I am right now, in your Christian belief, if I were to give a sacrifice, theoretically there's a sacrifice now, if I were able to give sacrifices, could I take away your sin with a sacrifice?
No, because you're not God.
Because I'm not God.
Right, but Jesus was.
So
that's
God
how he was
accepts my
able to do
offering?
it.
If God accepts my offering, does that take away your sin?
Well, you couldn't do that because you don't have a temple, and you don't have a blood atonement, and you don't have an Asham.
I'm saying, in the case of, let's say, we're back now thousands of years ago at the second temple, and we have a way now to atone. We have the offering. Can I now give an offering for the sin you committed?
No, because you're not doing it to God. It's not what God's requirement is.
So then how did Moses and Aaron do it?
They asked God, God gave them a direction, and that's how they did it.
I mean, God, they don't ask God. God says, you will atone for the congregation to Aaron. Aaron doesn't ask God, can I atone for them? God says, you will atone for the congregation. And Aaron takes the sins of the people.
And that's what God did in Isaiah 53.
Except in Isaiah 53, the context of Isaiah 53 is always Israel. Again, I know you guys love to ignore context. So I want you to explain.
It's not, though. How do you explain? Oh, I can't ask you a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I want you to explain why the servant in 43:10 is my witnesses, if it's a singular person. Is witnesses a singular person?
Was there witnesses when Jesus was crucified?
Were there
Yes, there
witnesses when
Yeah,
Jesus was
there was.
crucified?
Yeah, there was.
Hold on. So you're admitting that Israel is the servant?
No.
That the ones witnessing Jesus?
I can't ask you questions, so you can keep talking.
No, hold on. So if it says, you are my witnesses, my servant Israel, and actually go back in the context, it has nothing to do with watching someone die. The witnesses being the ones who follow God correctly and serve him. It's nothing to do with watching a figure die. So if it says, you are my servant, my witnesses Israel, who are the witnesses of God?
Okay. So obviously God is talking about Israel, but not distinctively just about Israel, right? It's not the whole Israel collectively. He's not talking about every single Israelite. Many of those people had turned to idols and rejected God. So he's talking about the faithful ones, the remnant, a small group of them.
Great,
but that
we
wasn't
agree.
all of you.
We
But that
agree.
was not all of you, right?
We agree.
Okay, so that wasn't all of you.
So we agree it's a
So
collective.
it can't be the nation of Israel.
It
It's
can
not
be the
all of you.
We have to
righteous
stop
of
right
it.
there. We have to stop right there. We're going to go on to the second round of cross-examination. That completes the first round of cross-examination. So, daughter, you're going to get 5 minutes, and it starts whenever you say your first word.
Okay, so what I wanted to say was originally was what he's referring to in that passage, that is the Israel, but not in this one, because in this passage, it's specifically talking about a singular person. So I'm not quite sure where the rules came that God can't switch between speaking about Israel to speaking about one person. But again, I go back to how Israel atones for itself, right? It can. It's consistently disobedient, even throughout exile. It's consistently disobedient now, even though they're out of exile. There's no temple atonement. They cannot make an asham. They cannot do a blood sacrifice. So that every year they could do the perpetual sacrifice that they can for the year, but they do not make a final atonement. This was talking about a final atonement. The remnant that is left is the ones after, the ones that are faithful even through. That is the righteous remnant, and they're only made righteous because the suffering servant does what he does. So again, I'm going to ask you, if you weren't righteous throughout the entire Babylonian exile or any time that the Jews were exiled, how do you make an atonement for your sins if you're a sinful nation, number one? Number two, when you were talking about Moses, absolutely, Moses petitioned God. He didn't tell God what to do. He petitioned and interceded with God. Why would you do this, God? Why would you allow them to come all the way through the desert, to be unalived on a mountain? And then God allows it because he's merciful, just like he was when he gave the suffering servant to reconcile us to God, because we were in a sinful nature and we had to have a reconciliation. And even in Judaism, this is Jewish law, there is no atonement for sin without blood sacrifice. So unless my friend over here is going to start doing blood sacrifice again, there is no atonement for his sins. So the suffering servant made the final reconciliation by offering himself as a blood sacrifice, just like the prophecies fulfilled, all of them, and came and made reconciliation. And that's how you end up with a righteous remnant. You can go ahead.
Okay, great. So you made the claim, first of all, that you need blood atonement to atone for sin. I'm going to show you where that's not only a lie, it's completely not true. Host, if you can pull up Hosea 14:2, that's possible. Or I can read it and the live can trust me. Whichever one.
I trust you to read it if they want.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
We will render the sacrifices of bullocks in the place of lips and prayer. So Hosea states, and is making a claim, in the time of exile, we are rendering those sacrifices through prayer. Atonement comes through prayer. We even see this, by the way, even when the temple is present. We see, for example, with the rule of King David, even in the kingdom, we see that David's rule, God says, I don't want your sacrifices. I want your repentance. And David repents without blood sacrifices. Blood sacrifices are not required to repent for sin. And in fact, blood sacrifices were only for unintentional sins. So to make that claim doesn't make any sense. They were for unintentional sins. The intentional sins had to be repented a different way. That's why Hosea prophesies and says, you will render these bullocks through your lips. Another question. You said, well, how could Israel atone if they're wicked? Not all of them are wicked. The righteous remnant that follows God's commandments and serves God correctly are not wicked. And in fact, we see this and we see the parallel. For example, the servant is called being laid, I'm like a sheep to the slaughter. If you go to Psalms 44:22, it says, we, Israel, are led like sheep to the slaughter. The exact same thing for your sake. So it's a complete parallel to 53, that the Jews are being led to the slaughter for other people's sins. God says this. He says, you will be put in the furnace of fire to atone for other sins. God states this. So if it was true that Israel can't atone for other sins, God wouldn't state that they can atone for other sins. In fact, you also made the statement, well, he's wounded and Jesus is wounded, he's injured. If you go to Isaiah 1:5-6, it says that the people of Israel were wounded and hurt for these sins of the other people, of the outside nations. And you said, for example, humiliation and then vindication. That's the whole theme, is that the servant gets humiliated and then he gets vindicated. We see in Isaiah 63 that Israel gets vindicated after suffering. And in fact, we also see that Israel gathers Israel back.
Finish up your last sentence.
The last sentence is very simple. Israel gathers Israel back, and they are righteous.
Okay. And with that, we're going to move on to the Chosen's cross-examination to finish the second round. You get 5 minutes, and it starts whenever you say your first word.
Okay, perfect. Host, question. Do you believe that having no deceit in their mouth, or no deceit in his mouth, means that you're sinless?
That's for daughter, right?
Yeah, daughter, sorry. For daughter.
I'm sorry, what I thought you were asking the host.
Yeah, do you believe that when it says no deceit in his mouth, that no deceit in his mouth means sinless?
It means that he was sinless. Yeah, he didn't lie. Yep, he didn't lie.
Great. So if he was sinless, then a couple things. How does it say in Zephaniah 3:13 that the righteous remnant of Israel have no deceit in their mouth? And this is prior to redemption. This is when God is taking out the unrighteous and the righteous remain. How is it that they have no deceit in their mouth if you made the claim Israel is sinless?
Israel is sinless. When did I say Israel?
Sorry, Israel sinned. How can you make that claim?
Because Jesus hadn't come yet. He hadn't come yet. This is a prophecy. It's prophecy. So they're not sinless until the Asham is made. The remnant is what's left after the Asham, the reconciliation that we had. That's what it's talking about.
Yeah, how could it be after it's done if there are people being unalived in exile in Zephaniah 3:11 to 13? How could it be after when the exile is already done? Especially if Zephaniah 3:14 to 20 talks about them actually coming to redemption and coming to the temple after the remnant gathers Israel.
You're again, the suffering servant is a prophetic text. It's talking about a Messiah that's going to come. When the Jews were in exile, they were in exile because of their disobedience. And we see that because there's multiple prophets that continuously rebuke.
Okay, I'm gonna take my time. You're ignoring my question. My question is very simple. If no deceit in his mouth means he's sinless, then how does Israel, the righteous remnant of Israel, which is not Jesus, have no deceit in their mouth? It's a simple question.
Well, for one, again, they don't do what they did while they were in exile. Continue to sin and groan and do all of those things that they did.
You're not answering my question. My question is, if the prophet stated that the righteous remnant of Israel has no deceit in their mouth, and you make the claim that no deceit in his mouth means he's sinless, and you believe Israel sinned, how could the prophet say that?
Because after the reconciliation, after the crucifixion, their sins are wiped clean as snow. So God doesn't look at their sins and judge them based on sin anymore. He judges them based on the Messiah and the sacrifice he made.
Okay, great. So does the Messiah that you're talking about, especially in Zephaniah 3:13 being gathered back to Israel, does that Messiah establish a third temple?
I'm sorry, host, were we talking about Zephaniah or is this the suffering servant in Isaiah?
The topic should be the suffering servant in Isaiah.
It is, but it's a parallel, because if my argument is that the righteous remnant of Israel is the servant, and one of the classifications for the servant is that it has no deceit in his mouth, Zephaniah clearly states that the righteous remnant of Israel has no deceit in their mouth. So I'm showing you right now that your claim that no deceit means sinless is incorrect. In fact, I'm going to ask you one more question. According to you, is the Messiah sinless?
What you're doing right now is a red herring. You are veering away from the topic. The topic is Isaiah 53. Stay in Isaiah 53.
Great. So I know you won't respond to the question because you don't have an answer.
I've responded 3 times.
You ignored my question. How is I'm saying this very clearly. I want to explain why I'm talking about the Messiah, because if you're saying Jesus is the servant, then you have to deal with all the problems that come with that. But the fact that the servant is not perfect, and the fact that the Messiah himself sins, according to Ezekiel 45, and has to give an offering of a bull to God for his sins. So when you're making the claim that Jesus fits this role of the servant, if you're making that claim, it's a major issue. So I'm going to ask you one more time. If Zephaniah 3:11 to 13 is prior to exile, it's during exile, which it is, because the unrighteous haven't been wiped out yet. They still have to return back to the temple and everyone has to be gathered. And it means that they're sinless. How does Israel have no deceit in their mouth?
Why do you keep saying Israel?
Because it says the righteous remnant of Israel has no deceit in their mouth. Their mouth. That's what it says in the verse.
I just answered you.
Finish up your last sentence.
Host, can I please ask you to have him stop deflecting off the topic? He's going all different places. Okay. He's not staying within the context of the debate.
Yeah, so host, I want to explain that I'm not going off topic, is that if we're evaluating the attributes of this servant as described in the verse, we need to see where the parallels are. Because if we take the verse without any parallels, we can't understand who that servant really is and how he's described in other verses. They all come together to explain who the servant is.
Okay, I would say that we are moving on to the third round, but yeah, let's try to remember that the topic of this debate, the focus of this debate, is to answer the proposition above. Who is the suffering servant in Isaiah 53? and make a good case for whatever your position might be. But with that, we are going to move on to the third round of cross-examination, and then after this, we're going to move on to closers. Daughter, you're going to get 5 minutes on the clock, and it starts whenever you say your first word.
Sure. I just want to deal with what he said. In Zephaniah 3:13, it isn't describing the suffering servant just to prove that he's going off track. It's describing the redeemed nation after God purifies them. In Isaiah 53, the servant comes to accomplish that purification. So for him to go to Zephaniah, that's off track. Zephaniah is no deceit. It shows the result of redemption after the suffering servant. So I'd like for him to deal with who the suffering servant is, not what happens afterwards.
Because when
So please, again, explain to me how you're drawing that parallel, because you're talking about a before and after.
Yeah, very simple. Because they return to Zion. So if you look to Zephaniah 3:14 to 20, when the redemption happens is when they return to Zion and the temple is placed. That is what's in 3:14 to 20. 3:11 to 13 is once they're purified by God because they're the faithful remnant. And that's why we have in 3:11 to 13, the others, the unrighteous, are wiped out. So it's clear this is not.
I reclaim my time. Again, he's dealing with the after part of what happens after the suffering servant comes. He's not dealing with who the suffering servant is. And if you want the reference for that, it's Zephaniah 3:13. He's not dealing with the actual text of it. How do they return is the question. How do they get there?
Okay, great. So how do they return back, you're saying, to redemption?
Yep.
Great. The servant brings them. And that
Who is the servant chosen?
The righteous remnant of Israel, as stated in Isaiah 43.
I reclaim my time. He's not getting to the point. The point of this argument, and this is why I didn't want to do this debate, because he veers off every time, is trying to, he said to me, his claim was, I'm going to prove that Jesus is not the suffering servant. He has yet to do that. He has been spent most of his time talking about the righteous remnant and what happens after purification. I need you to prove to me how Israel can redeem itself when it is a sinful nation in Isaiah 53.
Great, because not everyone is sinful. And we know that because God says that you are a righteous remnant who follows my commandments in exile. If it were true everyone was sinful, he wouldn't classify the remnant as being righteous. And when we look contextually, every single time the servant is classified in Isaiah, it's always Israel. I know you want to ignore from 41 to 49 and just say, well, let's just look at 53. But I know you love to ignore context. And again, when you said Lamo, by the way, you made the statement that Lamo is singular. It's not. It's always them. And the slight singular variations, like you said in Job, is because of an inanimate object when it's discussing. Lamo, in every other scenario, is them. And the context.
I reclaim my time. Can you please tell me why the righteous remnant needs to be returned? Why redemption needs to happen for the righteous remnant? Why does the suffering servant need to come if Israel is righteous?
Great. The suffering servant comes for the sins of the outside nations. So the one who's speaking in Isaiah 53 is the wicked Gentiles. And we see this proven because God even states, again, he states in Psalms that Israel...
I reclaim my time.
Okay, go ahead.
He's saying, he made a claim that it's the Gentiles. It can't be the Gentiles because this is a prophetic book to the Jews. It's talking about a servant who is going to come and redeem the Jews in their disobedience. So again, who is the righteous remnant and why do they need redemption?
Okay, very simple. The righteous remnant is Israel. As it says, you are my righteous remnant, Israel, people of God. They need redemption because the ones who get redeemed are the ones who choose to be righteous in exile. And they actually do suffer for those sins. As it says in Isaiah 1:5-6, you will suffer for the sins of others.
Who is the preserved one in Isaiah 49?
Great. The preserved nation are the ones who remain during exile, which includes the unrighteous.
And who remains if they're not righteous? Isaiah 53 is talking about the entire nation. That's what you're talking about. This is salvation for an entire nation. God does not in this passage at all say, well, some were good and some were bad. It doesn't say that in the text. We're dealing with the text, not your interpretation of the text. Who is the righteous remnant and who are the tribe of Jacob?
Yeah, the righteous remnant of Israel, as I stated for the 14th time, are the ones who obey God's commandments and are faithful to him in exile. As it states, you will suffer from your righteousness, O Israel, my people, for the sins of the wicked.
I reclaim my time. Who is Jacob?
Jacob is the founder of the tribes.
Who is Jacob in the text?
Jacob is the founder of the tribes. Oh, you mean in the text itself? There it's referencing the lowly part of Israel.
And where does it state that in the text?
Very
Answer
simple.
that question, and then we'll move on to the next cross-exam.
How we know it's the lowly part of Israel is because when Jacob got his name Israel, that was because he was deemed righteous after facing the Satan, and he gave him the righteous name Israel. So Jacob is a much lower name than Israel. So when it's referencing the ones who are sinful and are unrighteous, it says Jacob. It's not calling them Israel, which is the more holier, exalted name. It references them to a low name, which is very important.
With that, we're going to end that there, and then we're now moving on to the Chosen's final 5-minute cross-examination period. Then we'll move on to closing statements. So, Chosen, you will get 5 minutes whenever you start your first word.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go over really now the parallels, and I want you to address these parallels because it's very important. So we have the servant being saying, I am led like a sheep to the slaughter. Psalms 44:22. Us, Israel, our people are led like sheep to the slaughter. No deceit in his mouth. Zephaniah 3:13, like I said. He was wounded and bruised. Isaiah 1:5-6. Cut off from the land of the living. Remember, it says the servant's cut off from the land of the living. Ezekiel 37 envisions Israel completely dying. Obviously not 100% literal because some do remain, but it shows the destruction and what happens from their suffering. He's despised and exalted. Isaiah 63. The righteous remnant of Israel in 63 is despised and exalted. And he's justified by many. Isaiah 42:6, where he brings light and justice to all the nations. And that is the servant, by the way, that's connected to 43. So if you're trying to make the argument that this servant is not plural, even it says my witness is Israel, and later on it's a different servant, then who's the one that brings light to the nations? Is it Jesus, or is it the people of Israel in the plurality as it's stated in 42:6? Answer that question.
Again, host, I'm going to say that he keeps contradicting himself and going into other text. That's neither here nor there. But yes, actually, Jesus did say he is the light of the world. So yes, he does bring light to the world. That is in the Bible. And as
I'm
far
going to
as
take my time. If he brings light to the world, and he's the one who does that, and it's God, then why does it say the people of Israel are the ones who brings light to the world? The people of Israel. Please answer the question.
you can keep talking. I'm going to wait till it's my turn.
I know you can't answer that question, but
No, I can answer it, but
oh, you can't. But we can move on. We can move on.
No, you can. Okay. Go ahead.
And we will move on. So another thing that I wanted to address. We've already covered now the complete parallels of this servant and how in other verses it's completely referenced. I'm going to give you now the verse, okay, where the righteous remnant gathers the other people. Because remember, your claim is that the Messiah is the one who gathers the nations in 49:1-6, and it's not Israel. I'm going to give you the verse where...
Host, he's presupposing his view.
No, I'm going to give you the verse. I'm giving you literally the verse so you can read it, and I want you to tell me who gathers the scattered Israel. Okay? Can we do that?
Is this Isaiah 53?
No.
Host, are we dealing with Isaiah 53, or are we going into all different types of text?
Host. It's very important that when we're addressing the servant, we look contextually. If we don't look at context and we only stick with just a few verses, you can make mistakes and not understand what the text means. So I'm addressing what's stated in Isaiah 53 through contextual evaluation, which is important.
I will allow it, but let's try to stay on track as much as possible.
Okay. Please read for me, daughter of the king, Isaiah 66, verse 19-20. Unless you want me to read. Whichever one you want.
Isaiah 66, verse what?
19-20. And I want you to tell me who gathers...
This is not Isaiah 53, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Hence when I said Isaiah 66. I think we all know that. I'm showing you now where Israel, the remnant of Israel, gathers the nations. Like it's stated, the servant will do. So let's read that for me.
So we're talking about the remnant again and not the suffering servant?
Okay, great. So I'm going to read it because she obviously can't read it. I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them to the nations. And they shall bring all your brothers out of all the nations as an offering to the Lord to my holy mountain, Jerusalem. So the ones who gather these scattered people, these sinners, are the righteous remnant, not the Messiah. So who is more parallel to the one who gathers the nations in 49? It's obviously Israel because it's stated to be the righteous remnant of Israel. Now I'm going to ask you one more time. If in 53, this person that you claim is sinless, and because you said no deceit in his mouth is sinless, how does the Messiah sin in Ezekiel?
You're presupposing that that's what it's talking about.
Okay, so I'm going to read to you the verse now, and you're going to tell me if he sins or not, okay? On that day, the prince will give an offering to God
Again,
of a
this
bull
is not Isaiah 53.
for his sins. For his
He
sins.
is not stated in the text at all.
Whose sins? No, hold on. Whose sins is he atoning for? It says his sins. The prince will give an offering for his sins. So the Messiah sinned. So not only, even if we hold 53 to be talking about a messianic figure, it can't be your made-up messianic figure, because your messianic figure is supposedly sinless, even though
That's not the Messiah. That's not the Messiah that it's referencing. This is why you're going off.
Yes, it is.
And with that, we do have to end it there. Now we're going to move on to final statements.
Yeah.
Daughter, you're going to get 3 minutes to do your final statements, and it starts whenever you say your first word.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Take your time.
Thank you. So, unlike my opponent, I have stayed in Isaiah 53 and used that as my example. We've examined the Hebrew text and the context within the Tanakh of Isaiah 53. It is a clear case that the servant cannot be the nation of Israel because the text distinguishes the servant from my people, requiring sinless suffering, and demands a substitutionary atonement, which my opponent has not been able to prove. It promises vindication after death, resurrection. This is unmatched. It's an unmatched prophetic sequence. The Jewish historical record through the Targum and the Talmud confirms that the link between the suffering and the Messiah is an authentic Jewish tradition. My opponent attacked everything else that was not the Isaiah 53. But all in all, the blood was the ransom for all of them, all of these things. And he was resurrected, and it shows it clearly in Isaiah 53 where he's cut off. The text speaks for itself. So I don't really know where to go from here because he has waffled the entirety of the debate into all different types of scriptures, presupposing you're going to have to prove the last scripture that you put was even talking about the Messiah, because it wasn't. And I rest my case there because there's nothing else to really add.
Okay, and with that, that's going to conclude Daughter's final statement or closing statement. The Chosen, you're going to get 3 minutes to do your closing statement. It starts whenever you say your first word.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to try to end as strong as possible. Summarize what I said before. Once again, it's important to understand that everyone hears this. From 41, you address the context, all the way to 49. The servant is always called multiple people. My witnesses Israel, my children Israel. And it's defined as the servant in a singular. Like Israel is called the Son of God in multiple places, even though it says my people, the Son of God. So we've established the context being Israel. We also established the fact that lamo means then. In 50 times of the examples, poetic singulars only exist with inanimate objects. Here we have an animate object, which therefore defines lamo as then. Poetic singulars are very rare and not common. Now, we also addressed the amazing amount of parallels we have between 53 and describing of the remnant, because my claim is the remnant is Israel. I'm going to repeat them one more time so we can get a full understanding of this. Once again, the speaker Israel bears affliction and then intercedes. According to Lamo 3:1, Isaiah 3:1, and to 33, Isaiah 41:2, her warfare is ended, her iniquity is pardoned. Isaiah 42:6, 49:6, the servant brings light and restoration to all the nations, and that servant is called the people of Israel. So the one who brings the light to the nations is the remnant. And Psalms 44:22, this is what it says, which is very important. It says, for your sake, we are killed all day long. So the righteous remnant of Israel is killed all day long by the wicked Gentiles and even by the wicked Israel. Now, again, the parallels. No deceit in his mouth, Zephaniah 3:13. Wounded and bruised and afflicted for the sins of the Gentiles and the outside nations. Where do we see this? Isaiah 1:5-6. Cut off from the land of the living. Israel was cut off from the land of the living in Hosea 6:1-2 and Ezekiel 37. Despised and exalted. Isaiah 63. She made the claim that only Jesus can be exalted. The Messiah is exalted. It says the people of Israel are exalted in Isaiah 63. How could that be then? She never addressed the premise. She never addressed the questions I gave her. She never addressed how no deceit in his mouth means sinless if Israel is described as that. Now, he will justify many, Isaiah 42:6. And he intercedes for transgressions. You do not have to be sinless to intercede for transgressions. We see Aaron doing it for the congregation. We see Moses doing it. And we see Yechezkel taking the sins of, which is Ezekiel, taking the sins of the entire nation. The entire nation in the prophets. So if it were true you had to be sinless and these people weren't sinless, how could they take all the sins of the nation? Because you don't have to be. It's relative to the people who sinned. I'm going to make my last final statement. I know that I'm not going to be voted in to be the one who won because this is a majority Christian life. I just want you to understand, and even for people who are agnostic and atheists who are watching, that my religion does not require you to convert. I'm here to show you that you do not need a single individual to atone for your sins. What you need is God and walking a righteous path. So it's important to understand the scriptures in context, something that she doesn't know or have.
And with that, that concludes your closing statement. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be the conclusion of the entire debate. And thank you guys for being here. And that's basically the debate. I'm going to put an audience poll, and that would be the time for you guys to vote on who you thought won the debate. You guys are going to determine the winner for tonight. And then right now, while we're running that poll, we're going to bring some people up, do audience comments, questions, concerns, and critiques. Daughter, you did tell me beforehand that you do have things to attend to, so at any time you can leave the live and it'll be no problem. I totally understand. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, or critiques for the two debaters, you can come up now and ask it, and the debaters will answer your questions. Bobby or Garrett, do you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns you might want to get out the way first?
No, maybe I'll say maybe run the poll like 3 or 5 times just to get like a definite. Since I know it's an audience debate, but sometimes if you run a couple, you can get like a definite. All right, this is what the audience definitely think.
Like best out of 3.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I can run that. I'll set up the poll.
Having like actual judges.
Yeah, I'll set up the poll right now. Garrett, do you have anything to say about the debate? And then we'll move on to more, right?
Yeah, I wanted to hear the Jewish apologetic for the resurrection hints from Isaiah 53. I know that we were doing, a lot of passage dissemination through different scriptures and different books of the Bible through his apologetic during that debate. I'd like to hear him talk more about the resurrection. I think Daughter had a chance to mention that in her closing statements, but it didn't get a whole lot of time. So can I just get a basic apologetic from the Jewish guy on that?
Yeah, so what verse do you see where the Messiah is resurrected?
I don't want to participate in the debate, if that makes sense. I just, I would like for you to just give me your basic against it being the resurrection.
Okay, the poll is up right now, everybody. The poll is up right now. It's going to be that blue clipboard in the corner of the screen. So you guys can go ahead and vote. It's going to be right there in the corner of your screen. Click on it and vote for who you thought won the debate. You guys are going to help determine that tonight.
If you want to know my take on the resurrection, well, first of all, it's not stated anywhere in the prophets, so I'm not going to address it according to Torah. If you're asking how I address Jesus' resurrection, was that what you're asking me? Because I want to, if there is a place that you said is talking about a resurrection, if you could provide for me that verse, then we could look at it. Unless you want me to address Jesus' resurrection. Is that what you're asking? Just want to make sure.
Give me 1 second to pull the verse up, and maybe we'll go from there. I'll let someone else talk just for a brief moment.
Are you referring to Isaiah 53:12?
I was about to say, he can answer your question, or Murray, you can go next. Okay, Murray, you can go ahead and give your question, concern, or critique.
Yeah, I just have a question for Chosen real quick.
Go for it.
Okay, so Chosen, you said in Isaiah 49, right, that the servant is the righteous remnant. But the question is, you literally stated that the preserved ones of Israel is the remnant. So how is the remnant raising the tribes of Jacob and also bringing the preserved ones of Israel to return to God if they're already with God?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the preserved ones here actually don't only mean the righteous ones. We actually see in multiple verses of the prophets, many are preserved and stay alive after the exile, after they're brought back to the mountain. And only once they're brought back to the mountain, they're judged. So the ones who are preserved in exile, which means the ones who remain, many of those who remain are actually unrighteous. And I can pull up the exact verse for you if you want, where it states that many of the unrighteous are actually preserved. If you want me to do that too. Would you like me to?
I mean, you can, but I don't know how that's answering the question.
I'm
Because
asking who the preserved are. So I'm
no,
telling
yeah,
you.
if you're saying the preserved ones are also the righteous remnant with the ones that are not the righteous, right? You still have an issue. If the righteous remnant is the preserved ones, right? That means that the preserved ones who are with God, right, are also bringing them back to God, which doesn't make sense.
Well, it does, and I'll tell you why. Because there's the preserved that remains scattered, which is what is actually being discussed in those verses. They're scattered throughout the lands. And there's the ones who remain out of righteousness that are gathered back to God and eventually dispersed to gather them. So I showed Daughter of the King the verse in Isaiah 60, where the righteous remnant, the Jews, go out to gather the Jews who are preserved, that are still alive, that were the unrighteous, that are scattered. So when it's referencing the preserved here and the role of the servant to gather the preserved, the ones who need to be gathered, who are left in those lands after sinning, are the unrighteous in this case. Because they have not been returned back to God. They have remained scattered in the lands and require in Isaiah 60 for the righteous remnant to go and gather them and bring them back to God.
But isn't the tribes of Jacob are also scattered as well?
Isn't the tribe of Jacob scattered?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the tribes, right? Not tribe.
The tribes of Jacob, yeah. Are they also scattered?
Yep. And then after he answers that, I do want to probably get to the other guests. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the tribes of Jacob, like all the tribes. So first of all of them were scattered. You're correct about that. The righteous were scattered and the unrighteous were scattered. But the righteous are brought back to the mountain of the Lord and are deemed righteous and purified before the unrighteous are completely scattered back. That's why in Isaiah 60, after they come back to Zion, they are sent out to seek the ones who are preserved but are still in the foreign nations and have not survived completely. Like they survived, but they're not gathered back. So there are, and by the tribes of Jacob, especially in those verses, are referring to the lowly ones, the ones who have not been returned yet and sought out by God, which makes sense because Israel is the higher name of Jacob. It's the righteous name of Jacob, where Jacob is the lower name. That makes sense.
With that, we do have to get to the other guests who have questions, comments, critiques, or concerns. So thank you for coming up, Mara. And
I found the verse real fast, if that's okay, host.
Very good.
Yeah. So it was Isaiah 53, 8 through 10, when it talks about he is cut off from the land of the living, and then later on it says, yet he will see his offspring and prolong his days. The way that I interpret this verse, I see that prolong his days, it does imply a resurrection. I was just looking for your Jewish apologetic against that so I could understand that position more clearly.
Okay, perfect. So let's look at that verse. So it's 53 what? Say it one more time so I can pull it up.
It's 53 verses 8 through 10.
8 through 10. Okay, perfect.
Okay. We finished the poll the first time. I'm going to run it 2 more times, so keep an eye out for that.
Was it, therefore I will allot him a portion among the many, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his soul to death, and was numbered with his transgressions. And he bore the sin of many and intercedes for transgressors. And then you're talking about how his seed is prolonged, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so this death here is not referring to, in the Jewish interpretation, which is important to understand, not everyone died. It's a good amount of Israel does die. That's why it actually says in the prophets that only 1/3 remain. And that's why Ezekiel's vision in 37 and in Hosea 6, verses 1 to 2, describes Israel, seeing this whole vision of Israel being dead and wiped out. And a lot of Israel ends up dying. So that's what it's referencing here. So although, in the Jewish interpretation, although many of the unrighteous die, and they're laid waste, Israel will eventually succeed, be restored, and grow their nation. Their nation will continue to grow, and we will see that their seed expand.
controversial compass host, can I add something to that?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, Gary.
On the seed, unless you have to metaphorically interpret it to be the eternal kingdom of heaven, he doesn't have children. So,
Well, I mean, he's God, so he has children. You're his child.
you're claiming he's God, except I'm the son of God, according to Exodus 4:22 and Hosea 1, where it says the people of Israel are God's son forever. So you can say that, but that's just not what
Also, when you are answering other people, Chosen, please tell them why Israel is always referred to as a woman and not a man, with the exception of when the 3 brief periods where they're not in sin, and then God immediately goes back to call them her.
Yeah, great, because Israel actually multiple times is called the woman and the wife,
Yep.
which is a very important concept.
Right.
Being the wife of God and also the son of God. So they're
Right.
called masculine and they're called
Absolutely.
feminine. And
So why wouldn't the servant be called that then? The bride of God.
Yeah, well, in those verses, it doesn't call, because it's very important to understand. In those verses, when it's describing the servant, it's not referring to the relationship with God to them as a wife and as a female. That's a very important to understand why. Because that relationship between God and a wife, and the wife being Israel, is when there's completion, when there's happiness and unity. We're the wife of God. We welcome God. And that's fulfilled completely in redemption.
Yeah, all through.
In a time of exile, that is not completely fulfilled. So why we're not called the wife of God immediately in Isaiah is because it's in a time of exile now. Once we come to redemption, then you see in verses, by the way, later in Isaiah, it says, Israel's my wife, the wife of God. It actually states this in Isaiah.
In redemption, this is what you're missing the point. You continuously keep going into the remnant and the redemption, but the whole point of this debate was how do you get to the redemption?
But
and
also,
you have
guys,
not been able to answer that.
So can we ask a question?
Guys, but also, guys, really quick, we don't want to turn the
Yeah,
Q&A
no, go ahead.
into like another debate. So
I'm going to answer the last thing, and then we'll probably end this. But so
Right.
how we get to redemption is by the righteous remnant working with the righteous Gentiles to be good, to be good in morality, to follow God's commandments. That's how the Messiah ends up coming. That's how restoration ends up happening. Not from someone dying for our sins and taking away what we've done. It's by walking a righteous path. That's what leads to redemption for everyone. Not by putting your sins on a figure that didn't fulfill the requirements of the Messiah. Perfect.
well, anyway, just
can I go next?
Actually, okay, you go next, Decon, and then we'll get Just, then Joshua, then Knight.
Okay, Justin, Chosen, you just said something about when were they slaughtered all day long. As I recall, when Jesus was unalive on a cross, right? There were many Jew Christians that started serving Jesus, started following Jesus, right, as the Messiah, right? And after a couple of years later, these Jews and these Christians were slaughtered all day long. So much slaughtered, right, that they would put the Christians as light posts, right, towards the way towards the castles, right, or where the palace of the king. Okay, so how would you explain that?
Yeah, very simple. So if people are persecuted for their beliefs, especially at a time of contention, that's no problem for me.
But would you consider that being slaughtered all day long?
I would not consider that to be that prophecy of Israel, because if we look historically at who is slaughtered all day long, it's the majority of Israel, and that includes, by the way, Jews.
I mean, it was all the majority. It was all the majority of Jews, though. That was.
I can't respond to you if you keep over talking. So let me just answer your question, then you can respond. So when we say that Israel is suffering, and we have gone as sheep to the slaughter, it is true, by the way. This includes, by the way, Jews who even converted to Christianity, even though they're still a Jew and they can't change that. Even Jews who converted to Christianity suffer, and we see this historically. Whether it was the terrible event that happened that we all know, that I'm not going to say on this live because it can get someone banned. That terrible event that happened in Germany where multiple Jews were unalive, or whether it was the Roman persecution of all the Jews, or whether there's the Babylonian persecution. There's multiple persecutions of Jews throughout history. That includes Jews who even converted to Christianity. The suffering is for everyone. So you can point out and say, well, some of these Christians who were Jews suffered. That's great, but it's talking about Israel, so that would also include them too. You understand?
You
Wait,
interpret it, Israel. You
can I?
interpret it.
Well, hold on, really quick, guys. What were
There's
you gonna
a
say about it?
there's a question in the comment, and I just wanted to ask it, and then I can end there.
Go for it.
How chosen? Does the servant bring the Torah for the children of Israel? How does the remnant have their own Torah?
Great question. So the Torah is actually given by God in redemption, not a new covenant, the actual Torah. So if you pull up, I want to show you guys, if you pull up Micah 4:2, it says, on that day, the mountain of the Lord will be established on Zion, and from there the Torah will go out to all the nations and the people of the land. It's not a new Torah. There's never a mention of a new Torah. There's a mention of a new covenant, which means a new agreement. So covenant means a Brit, agreement between God and the people. There's never a mention of a new Torah. So when it says...
Why would there be a new covenant if they didn't break their old and there was a righteous remnant?
Jeremiah 31:31.
I know.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, I agree there's a new covenant, but you have to see the purpose of the new covenant. Because if you go to Zechariah, for example, it says the purpose of the new covenant is to encourage the people to keep the laws even more. It's
Can you read Jeremiah? Read it.
Okay, with
No,
that,
I agree there's a new
we do have
covenant.
we do have other guests. We can't keep going. But yep, thank you for that question.
Can I just ask, does anybody on the panel have a question for me? Because I'm going to drop down if I don't have to.
Yeah, does anyone have a question for daughter?
I'm sorry, Joshua. Was it you, Joshua?
I said you baked and you're fine. We don't have any questions for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep. Do you guys want to know the results? The results came in.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure she won because it's all Christians.
Yeah, daughter did take the 2 out of 3 poll results, so daughter did win the debate technically. But both of you guys did a very good job.
Yep. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. You did a good job.
Yeah, it was great conversation. I think we had a good discussion. It's nice.
Daughter, I have one tiny question that's kind of outside of the debate, but it's a general question. Do you uphold deuterocanonical books in your tradition, or do you just stick to the 66 of the Protestant Bible?
I personally stick to the 66.
Oh, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just, do you have a question, comments, concern, or critique?
Yeah, I want to ask Chosen, what was the topic of the debate?
The topic of the debate is who is the servant in Isaiah.
Okay. And to that question, I also think, what do you think Zephaniah 3:13 is talking about? Like, what time is he talking about?
Yeah, he's talking about when in exile, once God gathers the people back, the righteous, while the others are still suffering in exile, they will have no deceit in their mouth, which is actually prior to complete redemption, because complete redemption happens in 14 to 20 when they go back to Zion and they're established. This is in exile still. You want to understand.
Okay, and last question is, why does someone that is perfect need a reconciliation?
Well, I never said Israel is perfect. That's the whole argument, is that the one who has no deceit in his mouth is not perfect. If that were the case, then how could Israel have no deceit in their mouth? And the Messiah himself sins in Ezekiel. So it doesn't make any sense to say that no deceit in his mouth correlates with being sinless. That's not how it works.
With that, Joshua, do you got a question for us? Question, comments, concerns, or
questions? I have 2 questions. So number one, you mentioned that Ezekiel had a vision about a bunch of Israel being unalive. Can you tell us what chapter that is?
Yeah, no problem for that. Let me pull it up for you.
And if you're going to say chapter 37, then you misquoted the chapter.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pull it up for you, and you guys can read it and do whatever you want.
Yeah, so he's going to bring up chapter 37 where it's the dry bones, and they don't actually get unalive. It's a spiritual death.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, by the way. And by the way, we see that many of them. We
had in Genesis was a spiritual
death.
death.
That it is actually a physical death in Hosea 6.
No, it's a spiritual death. I'll read it for you. I'll read it.
You asked me a question?
Son of man, these bones are the house of Israel. They say our bones are dried up. Our hope is lost. We are cut off. Therefore prophesy and say to them, thus says the Lord, behold, I will open your graves and raise you from your graves, O my people. I will bring you into the land of Israel. There you go. So it was a spiritual death. Thank you very much. All right, so on to my, it's fine. On to my second question.
Hold on. You want me to respond to what you said. It's a physical death.
Okay, go ahead.
And the ones who died will eventually be resurrected. That's why it says in Isaiah 26 that the Messiah will resurrect all the dead. All the dead will be resurrected by the Messiah. So the one.
So now you're now have to ask your third question. Prove Isaiah 26 is related to Ezekiel 37.
Yeah. So the easy correlation that we see is that the ones who are resurrected, if everyone is being resurrected, which is what's described in Isaiah 26, That includes the people who suffered and were unalived in exile. And by the way, we see the evidence, by the way, that there was a physical suffering in Hosea 6.
Okay, so so let's clarify this. In Ezekiel 37, when Israel
Host,
says our bones are dried up, what does that mean?
I'm not here to do another whole argument right now. Give it like 5 minutes.
Okay,
And I'm going
you see,
to
guys. So in Ezekiel 37, the Israel literally says our bones are dried up, and he knows that's referring to spiritual death.
No, I never
So,
said that.
anyways,
I never
let's
said
go
that.
to Hosea. Okay, so I'm gonna read Hosea chapter 6.
Hold on. I never said it was a spiritual death. I said it's a physical death.
Yeah, I'm telling you it's a spiritual death.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. This is turning into a secondary debate.
I know.
Okay, that's fine. I'll ask my second question.
Hold on, wait. If it was a spiritual, if it was a
possible.
spiritual death, it wouldn't be that God says only 1/3 of Israel will remain. The others will be wiped out and unalived in persecution.
Okay, so show me in Ezekiel where they physically die.
Okay, and that'll be the final. Yeah, answer that question.
Okay, can I just ask my final question? Because yeah, so I'm just gonna read this. I'm gonna read Hosea chapter 6 verses 1 to 2. Give me 1 second.
And then we got to get to
Yeah. Come, let us return to the Lord, for he has torn, but he will heal us. He has stricken, but he will bind us up. After 2 days, he will revive us. On the third day, he will raise us up. Can you give us the interpretation? Because the Christians are saying this is referring to the resurrection of Christ.
That's the problem, because it's in a plural. It says we. That's a major issue.
Is that your answer?
And by the way, Zechariah, so what you said is it's not a physical death. Zechariah 13:8-9. And it shall come to pass in all the land, says the Lord, that 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left. And I will bring the third part through fire, which is through suffering.
That's not Ezekiel, but can you answer my Hosea question?
I'm responding to you. And will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. So 1/3 are cut off and actually die. And we see this, for example.
Okay, so that's Zechariah. That's not Ezekiel. So you're conceding that it's not Ezekiel that did that. Thank you. But can you answer my Hosea question?
I'm not conceding that, because Ezekiel 5:1-4 says.
Oh my goodness! Wait. Let me finish my second question. This guy's dodging.
Ezekiel 5:12 says.
We do gotta move on, guys.
Ezekiel 5:12 says a third part shall die.
He didn't answer my Hosea question, by the way.
I will, but I'm answering first your Ezekiel question. You said I conceded that it wasn't physical in Ezekiel. I'm not conceding that, and I'm proving to you it is physical. Ezekiel 5:11-12, a third part shall die with the pestilence and with famine, and a third part shall fall by the sword round about you, and I will scatter a third part into all the winds. So they physically die through famine and by the sword by the other nations. It's a physical death.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not. Wait, can you answer my Hosea question?
Wait, with that, I mean, like, there's been too many questions. We do have to get to, like, the other guest.
My host, I do have to leave soon. I do have things to attend to.
We got, like, 4 more people, but, like, maybe we could do, like, 2 more.
Yeah, you know what? I can actually, I have to drive somewhere. But what I can do is I can answer some of the questions while I'm driving. Like I should. So.
Or while you're a quote-unquote passenger, quote-unquote.
Well, no, I'm not going to be looking at my phone. I'm just going to be putting it down and hearing what people say.
Oh, yeah,
because you're in the passenger seat. Yeah.
You're a quote-unquote passenger.
Quote-unquote.
He's walking. He's just walking to the park.
Yeah.
I just have one very simple question.
Okay, actually, let's let Knight go, and then it's Cal, and then Man, and then Luis. Go ahead, Knight.
Thank you, host. Okay, so Chosen, my question is coming from Daniel 9. But before I go to Daniel 9, I want to ask you. You said that this man, this suffering servant of Isaiah 53 was Israel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when it says and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? So we're talking about the arm of the Lord being revealed. It says, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant. So you're saying it's talking about a nation. Is that correct?
Yes, and the proof of that is that Israel is actually...
Okay, no, I don't want your proof of that. I want to finish answering my question. I only want you to answer my question. I don't want you to give me any proofs, because I'm going to show you where he is despised and rejected of men. A man of sorrows is what it says. He is a man of sorrows. He doesn't say a nation of sorrows. It doesn't say.
Hold on.
Excuse me,
The
Chosen.
people of Israel called a man in Isaiah 39.
Chosen, you can rebut. Let me at least ask my question, and then give me all the answer you want. I'll go
ask
on
the
quiet.
question so we can get to that and then move on.
Okay, so it says he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He's trying to make this he sound like it's more than one when it's talking about a single man. Okay, so let me get to the question.
Can I respond to that?
And then you can answer that with this question. Okay, I'll listen to both. Okay, now look in Daniel 9. Right now, listen closely.
Yeah.
And it says 70 weeks are determined for thy people and upon thy holy city to do 6 things. And you can read what those 6 things are. I'm not going to read that part. It says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem, right? From that edict to restore and rebuild Jerusalem, unto the Messiah, the Prince, right?
I agree, yeah.
Shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous time. So we see that Messiah had to come at that particular time after 7 weeks and 62 weeks, would be a total of 69 weeks.
Sir,
okay, and now after.
We need to get to the question.
Oh, am I good to respond?
Yes, here it is, right here. Here
Yeah,
it is.
let me
and after the 69 weeks, right, the 62 weeks, shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, right? And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Now, this Messiah that shall be cut off, is that talking about that the Messiah, the one that's going to come, will be cut off after the 62 weeks? It shall die?
Yeah, so very simple. So this Messiah.
Okay, now you said it wasn't talking about Messiah. Does it say Messiah being, is it talking about the anointed one?
I'm
look,
saying,
guys, we need to ask the question and get the answer.
Yeah, can I respond to him? If you want to? So this person right here, first of all, it's important to understand that multiple people are called the Messiah. And who's actually called the Messiah in the prophets prior to this event? It's King Cyrus. It actually says, you, King Cyrus, are the Mashiach. It says Ha-Messiah. Now, if you look in Daniel 9, what are the prophecies for it? It's the rebuilding of the temple. This individual will rebuild the second temple. Who rebuilds the second temple? King Cyrus. King Cyrus gives the decree to rebuild the second temple, which is exactly what is established contextually. Exactly. And King Cyrus actually gets unalived and cut off, not for his sins and by the Romans. So the one who rebuilds the second temple and gives a decree is King Cyrus, who is called the Messiah. He is literally called the Messiah in the prophets, HaMashiach, because Messiah doesn't always mean the eternal Messiah. It can mean a contemporary anointed figure. That's what Messiah means. It means anointed one. So also, this is not giving a timeline for Jesus.
What was Cyrus cut off for? You're saying he's the Messiah. What was it cut off for?
Wait, hold on. We gotta move on.
He was
unalived
by the Romans.
We got other guests. So we gotta move on to It's Cal. What you got for us, It's Cal?
Yes, hi, how are you? God bless you all. Okay, it's called Israel. The Chosen, I just have a quick question for you. I know it's been a long time and I don't want to put like too much pressure on that. Have you read and studied thoroughly the whole Bible, all of it, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, cover to cover?
Yes, I have. I'm completely covered the supposed New Testament.
So you studied the New Testament?
Yeah.
All of it?
The supposed New Testament, yes. The supposed,
The
yes.
New Testament. Okay. So I have a question.
The supposed New Testament.
How do you see are you like, okay, no, never mind the question. How do you see the Messiah, or like when he's gonna come, like, and what he will do when he come? How do you see it? What's your view on that?
Okay, great. So we actually have this described. So the things the Messiah must do are described in the Zechariah.
Study?
Will establish God's Zechariah 6, verses 12 to 13.
Okay.
Guys, can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
can you guys
your
hear me?
connection might be a little bit wonky.
Okay.
Zechariah 6, verses 12 to 15.
I am quote unquote 12 to 13. I am in fact
Okay, 13.
a passenger,
Okay.
quote unquote, right now. So connection might be bad.
Okay.
Yes, 12 to 13, and it says that Messiah will establish God's temple on Mount Zion. He will establish God's temple. Now, that is one of the first major prophecies for the Messiah. He's going to establish a third temple, which is very important. It's described also in Micah 4:2, where we see that the Messiah will distribute the Torah from Mount Zion to all the nations, not the New Testament, the Torah. Another key prophecy is complete eternal peace, where it says there will be no wars and no fighting, ever. That's a prophecy for the Messiah. When the Messiah comes, there's no wars and no conflict, okay? The
On
third
this
one,
earth,
major
on this
one,
earth, like on this earth,
yes, on this earth. It says there will
like
be
he
no
will
more
rule the
battles
whole
between
earth.
the nations.
Yes, like he will rule the whole world.
The Messiah will rule the whole earth.
All world.
Yes.
Okay.
What world? He will rule the physical world, because we know the temple itself is a physical temple. If the temple
And how
wasn't
long?
physical, why does Ezekiel in Ezekiel 40 describe the physical structure of the temple? He says there's walls that are tfachim high, that are alamot high. And he
That's
describes
fine.
the length of the temple.
How long he will?
big it's
How
gonna be.
long he will rule? Like for how many years?
Oh, and then after
Forever?
that, we do got to move on to the
Yes.
next guest.
He rules forever.
Forever.
Where it says, my servant David will rule forever. That's what it states in Ezekiel.
Okay, with that,
And like-
we do gotta move on to the next.
No one
guest.
will die. Nobody will die. Nobody. Everyone.
hold on.
Nobody will
We-
die, and everyone
we
is
do gotta move
resurrected,
on.
according to Isaiah 26.
We do gotta move.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Yep, yep. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Um,
No problem.
Luis, what you got for us?
Hey, what's going on? Thank you guys for having me up. Chosen, I'm not here to challenge you, brother. I'm here to be educated. I heard you talking about the prince and how he had atoned for his sin, and then I heard you talk about how that was the Messiah. I'm actually just looking for the correlation so I can read that myself.
Oh, you want the verse basically?
Yeah, pretty much. Just so I can understand it, because I know you don't have a lot of time. I would love to talk to you in depth about it, but I get it. I'm just looking so I can like read and educate myself.
Okay, perfect. So I am in a vehicle right now, and I can provide for you, I believe, the chapter. That's okay, and you can probably find it. So it's Ezekiel 45. I'm 99% sure. And in there it says, at the end of the times, the Messiah will come up to the temple and will give an offering of a bull to God for his sins, and then he will give another offering for the sins of the nation. So he gives first an offering for his sins, and then for the sins of the entire nation.
And again, one more time, so I can just make sure I got that clear. So what 45?
Ezekiel 45.
Ezekiel, thank you.
Yeah, right there.
Thank you so much.
With that, man, you've got the floor.
It shows we've talked about this before, right? That temple you're referring to, what are the measurements again?
Yeah, great question. So the temple, the measurements of the temple are actually massive. It's a major temple and way bigger than the other one. And in fact, we have in Ezekiel says that the whole geography of Israel will change, especially where Mount Zion is.
Yeah, is this temple being built on Mount Sinai physically possible?
It's not just going to be on Mount Zion. It's going to be way bigger than that.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
fact,
But it says on Mount Zion. So is it physically possible to
no, it doesn't. It actually doesn't. It says God's dwelling will come back to Zion, but it says the temple will be established by the Messiah in Isaiah.
Where is the temple going to be built on?
The temple is in Jerusalem. It's massive.
Wait, so it's not. Wait, Chosen. Come on, bro. The temple's not built on anything. Are you serious?
No, it's in Jerusalem. That's what I said. It's built on Jerusalem. And you actually see this because the whole geography, like Ezekiel says that the whole landscape will change to accommodate the temple. He said there'll be a whole geographical shift to allow the temple to be placed.
And this is not supernatural?
Of course it's supernatural. What kind of question is that?
Okay, so then why did you have such an aversion towards this temple being something spiritual?
Yeah, because the land is accommodated. The land is changed to accommodate the temple. And in fact, if it wasn't physical, how could the Messiah give an offering of a bull, a physical bull, to God? Again, the temple itself is a physical temple. It's described to be physical. It's described that people will enter the temple and they'll be
Wait, you can enter the temple and not have it be physical, right? So that doesn't follow.
No,
I don't even care about this
I said
conversation.
the change in the geographical landscape is supernatural. So God will change the geography of the land to accommodate the temple. But the temple itself is a physical temple. It's still a temple. But the geography
that's not
changes.
my question for real. I just heard you say what you said, and we both know the chances of this temple being built on that mountain is unrealistic, but it's fine.
I told you the geography changed. So
Yeah.
that's according to
So
the
yeah. So what is like the telos of the eternal Messiah?
Say that again.
What is like the telos of the eternal Messiah?
What do you mean the telos?
Yeah, like what's the end? Like what's the purpose?
Yeah, what is Messiah supposed to do?
The eternal Messiah.
Yeah, so he's supposed to. This is very important. Again, the three major prophecies. So the third temple is one, complete restoration to all the land, and will provide knowledge.
Delineate between a false Messiah and a true Messiah. Here.
Great, that's actually a great question, and that's one that we have an answer for. If you go to Deuteronomy, there's an entire chapter at the end of Deuteronomy that describes who you should not listen to. It describes if one comes who claims to be a prophet and performs miracles and wonders, but it takes you off the path of keeping the law and the Torah. If he removes the law from the Torah, if he tells you not to keep the Torah, never ever listen to him. So what is stated in Deuteronomy, it says,
Did Jesus say not to keep the Torah?
Yes.
Where?
For example, when he says what goes in you does not defile you, that is removing what is
that's
stated.
Not keeping the Torah. That doesn't.
No, it
follow.
is. I'll teach you how it is. Because in Leviticus, God says that kosher law will be a statute forever in all your generations and in all your dwellings.
I agree.
So when Jesus comes and he says what goes in you does not defile you, when God lays out in kosher law that there are certain foods that do defile you spiritually if you eat them.
Yeah, that's fine, but that doesn't mean he changed the law. Well, that was
it does. It means you remove the law.
That was specifically for who?
For the Jews, we agree.
Okay, so are people not grafted in?
The Gentiles do not have to keep Torah. No, they have to keep the
Okay,
seven
so then
laws.
how did he change the law?
No, he removed from the law because he spoke to Jews when he said that.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
He spoke to Jews.
He never said that you shouldn't do this.
Yes, he literally stated, "What goes in you does not defile you."
He's saying that you don't. Yeah, he's saying he's speaking to only Jews, or he's speaking to both Gentiles and Jews.
He was speaking to Jews who were washing their hands in that verse.
So chosen.
No, he was speaking to Jews in that verse.
So when he's talking about these, only speaking to Jews there.
He's speaking to Jews who were washing their hands. And by the way, the Gentiles never had to keep kosher law. They were never under the Mosaic law.
This is why we know that he wasn't talking to the Jews. Because
yes, he was. The Gentiles never kept kosher law. They were never obligated to keep kosher law.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. He didn't change anything.
Yes, he did when he said to Jews that what goes in you does not defile you.
You prove he was talking to Jews?
Yes, because in that verse he goes up to Jews who are washing their hands. It says it in that verse. If you want to pull up that verse,
just because there's Jews in the area doesn't mean he's specifically talking to Jews.
Goes
like
up
I
to
said,
Jews.
they were both. So prove that he was only talking to Jews.
Because it says, and he spoke to them.
Okay, who's them?
The people washing their hands in that verse.
Okay, how do you know they were only Jews?
Yeah, because the only ones who wash their hands before they eat and make a blessing were the Jews, not the Gentiles.
Wait. It does not say that. What are you talking about?
Yes, it does.
Ray, read the verse.
Am I host?
I could be tripping. I'm
driving right now. I cannot pull up a verse.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, I can't. I want to be safe. Okay.
No, you're good.
So listen, if you have any questions for me, drop me a follow. I'll follow you back. If you want, you can call me. I can message you. We can talk like that.
Yeah, that would be best.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Appreciate it.
With that concludes the debate. I will edit it and post it on YouTube tonight. I'll try to, and yeah, thank you for being here, Chosen. I really appreciate you. I hope you get home safe, and that was a pretty good debate. It went very well.
Thank you guys so much. It was great listening to everyone, hearing everyone's perspective. I think it was good and respectful, and that's what all that matters. So thank you guys.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, Bobby, we did it.
I like that. I like that. That's the power of that. Like, there's one thing you're definitely good at. Is like this debate stuff, like hosting
Debates. Yeah, like, so basically I do like I host professional debates for like Day of Debates, and then I have my own thing where I host it by myself with like, no other person, and it's just the Cocomania series. So there's like the Day of Debates professional debates, and then there's the Cocomania series debates where it's like only me. But yup. Randall, you're
Wait, hey,
always here,
is this
man.
one the Cocomania? Is this one the Cocomania?
Yeah, this one's a Cocomania series.
Coco, I can leave, man, if you want to leave. But you see, I'm always here, man. I can leave.
What's up, Randall?
You know if I can leave, man.
Here, let me see. Let me change the background. Oh, this one, yeah, they just debated over it.
Oh, was he a Christian though?
No, it was a Christian versus like someone who believed in Judaism.
Oh yeah.
You could just say Jew.
Oh yeah, it was a Christian versus a Jew.
Yeah, Judaism they don't follow the Bible, bro. They just don't.
You have to say all those extra words.
Yeah.
They always cap with the Bible.
But PRK, what do you think? What do you think about that debate?
Yeah, I think it's a good one, Coco. I mean, if you have that up, a lot of people will come into the stream. The only problem is that Jewish people aren't very abundant, so you might, but it'll attract a lot of people like that chosen guy. I just think that I'm a fallibilist. I don't even think that, the chosen guy, I've talked to him about it. I don't care about what the Old Testament is necessarily saying about certain things, but
It's Cope.
Yeah.
No, so I want to read this. I want to read this out just for me, honestly, because he's a liar. So Matthew 15:1 through 3, it says 1 through 3, it says, then the Pharisees and scribes came to Jesus from Jerusalem and said, why do your disciples break the traditions of the elders? Right? Are his disciples only Jews?
I don't think.
No.
I honestly thought they were back.
No, they weren't only Jews. No, most of them were Jews. True, but not only Jews. Obviously, they're going to be mostly Jews.
Oh, wait, who was not a Jew? Do you know?
You said what?
Who was not a Jew?
What do you mean? I'm saying the people that walk with Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the apostles. I'm saying the disciples.
Yeah, the disciples. Who are they?
The people that walk with Jesus?
I mean, most Christians can't name the disciples.
Why would I be able to name
That's
all
such
the
a stupid
disciples?
question. You want him to name all the disciples?
You're referring to the apostles, buddy. The apostles are all Jews. Yes, I agree. But not all the disciples were Jews.
Okay, that context was talking about what disciple?
What?
Yeah, what was he talking about?
Oh, you're talking about like the 70 disciples, right, man?
No, the 12 disciples.
The totality of the disciples, they weren't all Jews.
Yeah, how many of them?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know how many. They were all Jews.
Okay.
Most of them were Jews, though.
Okay, you said the Pharisee said they were breaking the laws. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Why do your disciples, which is referring to both the Jews and the Gentiles?
No. He's talking about the disciples that Jesus chose.
Oh my gosh.
No. Here we go. We got a debate.
All right, man.
Prove that Matthew 15:1 through 3 is talking about the apostles.
Wait, let me read it real quick. I'll be back.
Yeah, go read it real quick before you speak.
Damn, it's crazy.
What the hell is this dude talking about?
Man, when are we gonna get your next formal debate?
I don't do no formal debates, bro. That's boring. Like having to wait for it's boring. I like to mediate my own debates on live. And all these guys yapping.
Oh, bro, just doesn't want to get cooked in front of a crowd.
He just interpolating. Like nobody would agree that Jesus' disciples were only the most they would give you. Like most of them were Jews, but not all of them. So for him to suggest that he's breaking or changing the law is fallacious. That would have to assume that all his followers were Jewish.
Also, Jesus told them not to wash their hands, and that was like a Jewish culture. What was
it was a tradition. It wasn't law. And that's another thing he interpolated. He collapsed tradition and law.
Interesting.
I want you to read verse 12.
Like he literally says it right here. Watch.
Matt. Can you read verse 12 real quick?
Verse 12.
Yeah. Let's see who responded to Jesus.
Then the disciples came to him and said, "Do you know the Pharisees were offended when they heard the saying?"
Keep reading.
He answered, "Every plant that my heavenly Father has planted will be rooted up. Let them alone. They are blind guides. And if they blind lead the blind, both will fall into a pit." But Peter said to him, "Explain the parable to us."
Oh, so Peter is part of.
Is this guy actually like the R word?
Well, no. Peter is part.
Wait, so because Peter responds, that means they're all apostles? What?
Wait, hold on. So Jesus talked to the
I never
crowd,
disagree
right?
that apostles weren't there. Like
Wait,
I'm talking about the
it's man.
totality.
Hold on,
Wait. I'll let you finish as long as you can steal man what I said.
Don't run
No.
away, man.
I'll ask you because you're actually being so weird. I'll let you finish when you can steal man what I said.
You want to let me finish?
No. Not until you steal man what I said, because this is gonna be pointless. You're arguing something I'm not arguing. Steal man what I said.
Yeah, you said the disciples, right? Were the people that follow Jesus. Isn't that your argument here?
Do you know the distinction between apostles and disciples?
I believe I do, but
Okay, so perfect.
Mhm.
Did I say disciples?
You said apostles.
All right, I'm done talking to this guy.
Wait, am I wrong or something? If I'm wrong, correct me, bro. Maybe I missed something.
That's what I say. You need to think before you speak. I said disciples. I never said apostles.
Okay. So in that, sorry, my bad. I apologize. So in that context, right? You said the Pharisees told you why are the disciples breaking the law, right? And
Apostles are going to be a part of the disciples. Not every disciple was an apostle. But all apostles are disciples.
I said you said the Pharisees said, "Why are your disciples, bro?"
Yes.
Okay, so I asked you.
Apostle is a disciple.
Okay, bro. Okay, sure. So I'm asking you.
Bro, just admit that you don't understand what you're saying, and I can explain it to you. But you're yapping, bro. You're wasting my time.
It's man. Hold on. You got cooked. That's
what are you confused about?
That's why you scared. Wait.
I'm scared. He's saying that. Wait, Coco.
Bro,
did I say apostles or disciples?
I don't remember.
Did I not say that not all his disciples were Jews? Majority of them were. Did I say did I bring up apostles at all? Exactly, followers of Christ.
Okay.
Disciples.
So and then I questioned you. I said, could you name the disciples that were not Jews? You said you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because why would I know their names?
Okay, thank you. Wait. Thank you. So according to Matthew 15, right? The disciples were the 12 that Jesus called, right?
Oh my gosh. Bro, it's not like you think I'm running, but like you're genuinely embarrassing yourself.
Bro,
if you think that all
the disciples,
if you think you're conflating disciples and apostles.
Bro, we're not talking about apostles, bro. We're talking about disciples.
So then disciples, yes, disciples.
Matthew 15 is about
Christ.
disciples, not apostles.
So are you saying that everybody that was a disciple was a Jew?
The 12 were Jews. Yes.
Oh my God! There's more than 12 disciples. Bro, keep this dude out,
no more than 12. No, Jesus chose 12.
Yeah, you're not understanding, Randall.
Yeah, you're actually. That's what I'm saying.
Disciples are. There's like 70 disciples.
Are you even Christian, bro?
Bro, how many?
Have you even studied a lick of theology?
Bro, how many disciples?
There's only 12 disciples. Are you serious?
Bro, how many disciples did Jesus choose? Please answer the question.
The ones he chose are called the apostles. Those are 12.
Yeah, man's right.
So the 12 he chose are apostles, not disciples.
Okay, I'll explain it to you one more time.
Bro, no, I
all
want you to answer the question.
So wait.
Man. Just listen.
You don't understand. Just listen, bro.
Listen.
All apostles are disciples, but not all disciples are apostles. The ones that are chosen are considered apostles, but not all disciples are apostles. Do you genuinely believe Jesus only walked around with 12 people? He gave the Sermon on the Mount. Do you think there was only 12 people there?
No.
Come on, bro. Stop yapping. That's why I told you to steel man what I said. You couldn't even accurately steel man me.
Bro, wait.
You're arguing something I'm not arguing.
Wait,
Be better.
Wait. We're talking about scripture. So
talk about running, bro. I would never run from you.
Man, hold on, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In the context of Matthew 15, can we agree?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Can we agree it's talking about the 12 disciples?
Prove that.
Okay, because Jesus spoke to the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you keep reading, he says the disciples then came. So the crowd were not the disciples, right? I don't know why he's laughing. I don't know why he's laughing.
Where'd you find this guy? No, like actually, are you trolling me right now?
I'm not trolling, bro.
This is for real? This is what you genuinely believe. So you genuinely believe because Peter responded, who is considered a disciple, right? That means everybody in that vicinity was an apostle.
No, there's a clear distinction because it says.
So then, if you're not saying that, what is the purpose of speaking about this?
Bro, can I finish? Why did Jesus say, right, he spoke to the disciples? He said he spoke to the crowd.
What are the disciples?
So then out of the crowd, the disciples came, right? So the crowd is not necessarily the disciples. They were specific individuals, right?
What are you talking about? And it says then Pharisees and the scribes came to Jesus from Jerusalem and said, Why do your disciples? They're talking. Jesus is being talked to by the Pharisees. He's saying, why do the disciples break the traditions of the elders?
I think you should read the entire chapter, bro, before you talk.
Oh my god, bro! You're actually embarrassing, dude.
Christian, bro? What's the deal?
Your rhetoric is terrible.
Are you a Christian, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Well, you believe Jesus is God?
Yes.
Okay, we don't disagree.
We don't disagree on that, but we disagree on this, and that's because you don't understand the
He's
distinction between a
actually
disciple
right,
and
though.
apostle.
Like, this is important to understand as well. Like, you should know this.
Like, this argument's only like the Chosen was trying to make the claim that Jesus changed the law. He can only change the law as if he was speaking directly to Jews, because we know that law was specifically for Jews. But that would be presupposing that only the people that followed him were Jews, and that's not true.
But the fact that he was including the Jews in that statement is what he was getting at.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be a problem if the Jews understood that this is for them. That wouldn't be a contention.
No. But the thing is Jesus addressed everyone.
Exactly, because he's addressing the disciples. Yes.
So when he addressed everyone, he addressed the Pharisees, he addressed the disciples, he addressed everyone that was there. So in doing so, he told the Jews themselves.
Yeah, washing hands isn't a law; it's a tradition.
No. That's not what his argument was.
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh!
That Jesus said. This is what.
No, he said Jesus changed the law. That's what he said.
But that wasn't because
washing your hands is not a law.
No, that wasn't the law that he was claiming. The law that he was claiming was, he said, a man is not defiled by what enters his mouth, but by what comes out of it. When he told them that you would not be defiled by what was in your mouth, that was a violation of the law. That's why he said that Jesus spoke out against it, and why he doesn't address Jesus as
dietary laws were
the
for
Messiah.
just the Jews. That's fine. This is not a contention. The Jews would have known this is for them, and the people that would have been speaking to they would have known that wasn't for them. It's simple.
How would they have known that?
Because the Jews knew the dietary laws. What?
And that's his point, that they spoke out
he's
against it.
interpolating, because he's assuming just because Jesus spoke broadly that now these people are going to be confused. No, the understanding here as a Jewish person was that we hold to these dietary laws. It doesn't matter what he's saying. You hold to these dietary laws.
Well, it
doesn't matter what Jesus is saying?
Yes, because the understanding, because Jesus is not changing the law. The law is being understood before Jesus came.
Bro, hold on.
Jews keep this.
It's Matt. Wasn't Jesus sent to the Jews first?
What?
Wasn't Jesus sent to the Jews first?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so everything he addressed.
What is it? Wait. No, what does that have to do with the law we're talking about?
Wait, hold on. I'm just saying. So
are you guys serious? Like,
bro,
what? Wait. What did you bringing that up have to do with what me and Luis are talking about?
Hold on. So everything he does and addresses, right, would be for the Jews, correct? Because
no.
He was sent. No,
that doesn't follow.
But he was sent to them.
Because you're sent for the Jews. That means everything you do is for the Jews.
Well, at that time, I would assume.
Yeah, so I'm telling you that doesn't follow.
I doesn't follow. If I send you somewhere, everything.
Did Jesus only come for Jews?
Bro, hold on. If I send you, bro, hold on. Use this logic, right? If I send you to
no.
Oh my God.
No.
It's entailed that like when Jesus came, all he was going to do is stuff for the Jews. He might do stuff for other people.
Literally. It was an argument that because he came initially for the Jews, that he's only coming for the Jews.
Well, do you remember that woman that asked Jesus about something?
Oh my God, bro. Stop asking questions. The argument.
Right? Wait, hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm giving you evidence here, but you're running away.
No, I want you to give me the argument. That because something comes initially for something, that means the only thing they came for initially is what they're going to be coming for the whole time. What was the argument for that?
No, I'm saying that he came to address, okay?
Okay, so then what is the purpose of you saying that if it doesn't mean he's only there for the Jews? That's what I said. Stop interjecting if you don't know what you're talking about, bro.
But Matthew 15:24 said that he came only for the lost sheep of Israel.
I don't know what
fine. That's fine. What is Israel? What is Israel?
What?
Why you deny?
What is Israel? What does Israel define Israel?
Tell us, bro. Tell us. We don't know. Tell us.
No. He just said the people of Israel. So what is Israel?
At that point, he's talking about the Jewish people.
Could people be grafted in?
Yes, but it's not till after he's atoned. Not till after his death.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So you're telling me people weren't? So you're telling me people weren't being grafted in to the covenant in the Old Testament?
It's man. Who are the Gentiles, bro?
Wait,
Can you
wait,
tell
wait, wait,
everybody
wait,
the Gentiles?
Louise, wait. Randall, wait. I'm going to educate you guys today. Louise, are you
Damn.
telling me in the Old Testament Gentiles weren't being grafted in?
I guess I can concede that point.
Okay, so then you
But
bring up Israel is not a contention. Next.
no, but when you're saying that he wasn't
Israel, just the
addressing the
people that
Jews,
follow
no, 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 no,
the
no. Hold on, hold on,
covenant.
hold on, hold
It's
on.
not just
Because
Jews.
in this context, you're saying that he was not addressing the Jews.
I'll be right
But
back.
in this context, he tells you clearly that he was.
No, it doesn't. In
Yes, it
Matthew
does. When it
1 through
says,
3,
then Jesus said to the, well, it says, he answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel.
didn't I just like
But
cook you
in the
on
same
Israel?
context, I'm not
Didn't I
saying
just
that.
cook you on Israel?
Hold on, bro.
What is Israel?
So if people are
Are the
grafting
people
in,
of
right?
Israel only Jews?
Yes, if they're converting into the Judaism religion and the Judaism, the Torah. Hold on, the Torah. Yeah, then he's talking
So
to
the
the
people out of
Jews,
Egypt. So the people that came out of Egypt with the Israelites, right?
the ones
And
that
accepted
converted.
Yahweh as their God. They're now Jews.
Yeah, because they converted in.
Oh my gosh, bro. Are you referring to Jew ethnically or through the like
Yeah,
religiously? Because when I'm saying Jewish, I'm referring to the ethno religion.
I'm talking about the religion. I'm in religion. I'm not talking about
Okay, just
like
religion, right?
religion.
So then,
Yes,
if you believe that, then they would still be Israel.
exactly.
So then, what is
They
your
would still have to
contention?
follow those same laws because
No,
they
that's
converted
for
in.
Jews.
No. Well, you see that's where the difference is. That's where we butt heads. I see now.
Okay.
Okay, because what I believe is once you've converted in, right, you take on those commandments that are the laws. You take those on, right? When he says don't be like the Gentiles, he means don't because those commandments that are the laws. You take those on, right? I'm not when he says don't be like the Gentiles, he means don't be like Gentiles. Came what goes in your mouth does not defile you
Okay.
to Israel,
When he says don't be like the
right
Gentiles,
or wrong.
what is he saying here?
He's
Do you know the
talking about the
purpose
ones
of
that have
all
not
these like
converted in.
dietary laws? Do you know the purpose of all this stuff?
Yeah, I'm,
What was the purpose of the
we're
dietary laws in the Old Testament?
we're not going to deflect, man. We're not going to
I'm not
deflect.
deflecting. I'm trying to give you like the understanding why this is not the exegesis. What was the purpose of the dietary laws in the Old Testament? Are you Christian?
Huh?
Are you Christian?
No.
Not that this matters. I'm just curious. Yeah. So, what was the purpose of the dietary laws in the Old Testament?
The purpose was to keep the cleanliness of the Jewish people.
Yeah. No. So the purpose of keeping the dietary laws was to establish discipline between the Jewish people and everybody else. It was a spiritual
The,
separation, segregation to keep
right.
these people disdained from the rest of the world.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
when you bring up these things that when he says, oh yeah, don't be like the Gentiles, when he's saying don't be like the Gentiles, he's saying don't be like the Gentiles insofar as them following false gods and upholding these crazy traditions. And that's why he created their own traditions and their own laws so they could abstain from those things. That's
And
literally the purpose
they
of the
did
dietary
what?
laws.
Then they converted into what? Israel, right?
Wait, say it again.
So then they converted into Israel, the ones that would then be converted in, right?
Converted to Israel.
Like the Gentiles that came out and
Yeah,
entered into.
they would be considered the people of Israel. Yes.
Yeah, so they would be expected to uphold those laws, correct or incorrect?
Yeah, that's fine.
So then when he said that, he was talking to Israel, right?
Yeah, but you made the claim that people of Israel are just Jews.
No, I'm not talking the nationality, the ethnic. I'm talking about the religion, right?
Okay, so wait, that's what I'm
So when
using.
they converted, they are then under the law, right?
But
So then when
contextually,
they
you
are
wouldn't
under the
use Jews
law,
here.
huh?
But contextually, why would we use Jews here? Why wouldn't we use Israel?
Because that's what he said in Matthew
He came. No,
15.
you said that he came for the lost sheep of Israel. Why are you saying Jews?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like you're cooking yourself. Like you're not even realizing
I see your
contextually
point.
you're wrong. The distinction between the Jews is and Israel the
Yeah,
bloodline.
you're
So when
right.
he's saying Israel, he's referring to the people that follow Yahweh. It wasn't
Yeah,
just
you're right.
Jews.
You're right.
You're interpolating. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I got you. You're right.
So then this is not contention. What are we saying?
But what I'm saying is the okay. We'll use Israel. We'll use the term Israel. All right, rather than say
Bro,
Jews.
I don't even study Old Testament like this, but this is basic stuff.
No, I
Man's
get that.
cooking. Holy shit.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is he's talking to Israel, correct?
And Israel are the people that follow Yahweh, yes.
Right. So when he said that when you put that in your mouth, it doesn't like
No,
it,
now you're backtracking. Whoa. Your
no,
initial claim was that he came
that's what the whole
only.
initial argument
No,
was. It's not
initial
backtracking. That's
claim.
the whole initial argument.
No, it wasn't. Your initial claim, or not initial, no, your claim to your counter argument to what I said was that Jesus only came for the people of Israel. And your false understanding of what Israel meant, you thought this meant just Jewish people. But then we found out later that when you say Jewish, all you're using here is the religion. So I would say contextually, you'd be wrong to use the word Jewish because Israel is the word for
So
that. Now, Jewish is
I'm
referring to the
using the
people
wrong
of the
word, but not the
bloodline.
wrong. I'm using the wrong word, but not the wrong meaning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just contextually you'd be wrong. And if you understood contextually you're wrong, and if you understood like contextually you're wrong, you'd realize that I'm right.
But you're not.
Okay, then what am I misunderstanding?
Because all right, when this is what he's saying.
Wait, can you just
Right?
steal me my claim real quick?
Yeah, you say again.
Steal me my claim because you're saying I'm wrong. So what is my claim?
Your claim is that when he said that he wasn't just talking, he was talking to everyone, Gentiles included, right? That
Yes,
was your claim,
disciples. Yes.
right? Disciples, Gentiles included, everyone. They weren't just the Israelites. They were everyone, right? But he says clearly in this that I was sent for the lost sheep of Israel, as he's telling them what you put in your mouth does not like. I don't understand why.
Those are two different verses. You just collapsed both of those verses or
No,
chapters.
I'm
You
just
did.
telling
You
you it's
did. You did.
all
I'm gonna help you
Matthew
out. I'm gonna help you out.
15.
Hold my
We're
hand. Hold my
talking just
hand.
a few verses apart.
Hold my hand. I got you. I'll help you.
No,
Hold my
oh
hand.
my
You're good.
goodness.
So the problem here is you didn't steal man what I said at all. That's the first problem. So that's why maybe you're misunderstanding what I'm arguing. You are confused because you think Israel are Jewish ethically. Israel is referring to people that uphold the covenant given by Yahweh. Right? So when he says I came for the lost sheep of Israel, this is just anybody that upholds what?
The laws of Yahweh.
When you're lost, if the Lord is our shepherd and we are his sheep, if we are lost, what does that mean? We all are his people and we all should be within this covenant. So he's coming to gather these lost sheep.
I get that.
So then what are you contending?
All right. The whole initial argument.
Wait, Coco, am I tripping?
No, you are. No. All right. Host,
I don't
hear me
understand
out,
what you're
right?
arguing. If you're not arguing with me about this, then we're not
Host,
arguing.
Host, hear me out, right? When it said, right, they came, it said the Pharisees came to Jesus from Jerusalem and asked, why do your disciples break the traditions of the elders? They do not wash their hands before they eat. Jesus replied, right? Why do you break the commandments of God for the sake of tradition? Right? And he goes on through all this stuff. And then he goes on to say in verse 10, he said, Jesus called the crowd to him and said, listen and understand. A man is not defiled by what enters his mouth, by what comes out of it. The previous guest, I can't chosen, said that right there went against the law. Then Man said, no, he lied because he wasn't only talking to the Israelites. But it goes on in verse 24.
I said Jews. I said Israelites. I said Jews.
And then it goes on in 24 to say that I came only for the lost people of Israel. That's my whole point. He was not lying. He was not wrong. Man was.
I never said
That was the
Israelites.
entire argument.
Again, I never said Israelites. I said Jews. Not all Jews are Israelites. You know that, right? But all Israelites are Jews. You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I never said Israelites. You just said I said Israelites. Those words never came out of my mouth. So if you thought that came out of my mouth, you're arguing something I'm not arguing, like I've said from the jump. Thank you.
This is crazy.
Damn. I'm just cooking people on the regular. I wouldn't even consider him cook. But I don't think you really know what you're talking about. But yeah, this is a contention. The whole point of him bringing that up was to say, one, maybe he wasn't talking about the hand thing, but if he's talking about the file thing, it's very important to know why these dietary laws were in place and why these laws were in place, ceremonial laws were in place in general. They were never to actually make you clean. Like, nothing we could ever do, and that's been set out throughout the Bible. There's nothing we can actually do to make us clean. This is more so for us to keep us on the right path. It was never about, oh, don't eat this, or if you do eat this, you're defiled. No, it was never about that. It was about you keeping a practice that made you that kept you from everybody else in the world. That was the purpose of the dietary laws and the ceremonial laws. That's literally it. Do you generally believe that when they unalive the freaking animal, that this generally atoned for their sins? No.
In the eyes of God, it did.
No, it didn't.
Then why did he command it?
Because I just said it's to keep them righteous.
But he commanded it for the purpose of atonement.
Yeah, the perfect atonement was Christ. He atoned for us.
I get. That's way ahead of time. That's what you're.
No, that's
you're
what I'm saying.
going
I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you that it was never about. It was never about. It was never about God. It was about us.
No, I get that, but you have to understand that when God said that the sacrifice was for the atonement, like, you don't supersede God. God said that it was for the atonement of man.
That's not what I'm saying.
God said that the bloodshed did atone.
The sacrifices of these animals didn't actually atone for your sins. It was just a temporary atonement,
a temporary atonement. That's what it was.
No, atonement is like throughout, like it's finished. This is like a temporary cast over you, over you. Like, it didn't actually
blood sacrifice.
It didn't actually reconcile.
Was only ever for unintentional sins, not for direct sins, right? So
I'm not sure.
That's what it was intended for unintentional sins, not direct sins.
No, but that doesn't even matter. The point is, sacrifices didn't do what it was supposed to do. So if we know that it was just more so for us and it's not for God, why would we expect it to be held so neat, like so tightly when it came to these things when Jesus came? Like, it was you understand, throughout the Bible we get this idea that there's nothing we can do that will ever make us righteous.
I can agree with that.
So then, if he's giving us things that are making us, or quote unquote making us righteous, what does that mean?
Not righteous, making us atone. And
no. It's to make us righteous.
He doesn't say that we're not righteous. He said that your
ceremonial laws
doesn't matter.
Ceremonial laws and dietary laws
are to make us
we're
not righteous. He says that your righteousness doesn't matter.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna look it up. Watch.
In fact, he even calls Job righteous. He calls men righteous.
Yeah, I understand.
So
I'm not saying men can't be righteous.
Nothing we can do can make us righteous. Well, God disagrees with you because he says that they were righteous men. I don't know what you're getting at. What I'm saying is your righteousness didn't matter. It wasn't that men weren't righteous. It's just all of your righteousness was like filthy menstrual rags in the eyes of God. You needed the atonement of the final atonement, the sacrifice from the Messiah, which was Jesus, right?
Well, honestly, we don't really have any ops, so I think after this I'm going to call it a day. Go take a nap or something.
All right, brother.
Oh, I guess Man's searching for one last verse.
Unless the verse says that there were no righteous men, it doesn't matter. But oh, he left. So I guess there's that.
Wait, no, he's coming back.
Oh, he was on teacup too long.
Yo, Man, I'm trying to get my views up on Twitch.
You want tips?
On Twitch.
I see you want tips?
I mean, sure. I'm just hosting debates and debating people on Twitch.
Do you only do religious debates?
Hmm?
Do you only do religious debates?
I'll host any debate, really. You know.
Okay, so yeah, for Twitch is one of the hardest places to build because the natural algorithm is terrible. So that being said, you have to do things that are going to push people from TikTok to Twitch. Debates isn't really the method for Twitch. I would say YouTube is more so for that. But if you were to do that, you have to start doing things more controversial. Does a Christian God exist is not controversial. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No one really cares. To be completely honest, right? No one really cares. That's not going to get you views. That's why I stopped doing theology. Like, it's cool, but it's not really fun.
I used to jump in yours all the time, man, and watch your theology.
The Christian debates?
Yeah, I used to watch them all the time. They were my favorite things to watch.
Well, I appreciate it.
But also, I'll totally admit, like, the religion, like, genre is not like a moneymaker, to be honest.
Hey, the only way you're making money off of religious debates is if you were here in the beginning. Like people like God Logic, Sam Shimon, Nick. Like if you were here at the beginning of the debate movement on TikTok. Yeah, so I would say either you suck it up and grind it out, but you also have to understand that your competition. You're not. I love you, but you're not the best atheist debater. So you have to do something that's going to set you apart from everybody else. Well, that could be your rhetoric. Yeah, it's either that's your rhetoric or your knowledge on a thing. But you have to find something that what sets me apart is my rhetoric. I'm absolutely hilarious when I'm debating people because I like insult your intelligence in a funny way. So you have to figure out something that sets you apart. I don't know what that's going to be for you, but find that thing and exploit it. What my advice would just be for you is stop the theological debates and learn about some type of controversial political idea and host debates like how Parker, how Covey, and all these big debaters.
Dean Wither.
Yeah.
Probably get into like politics and shit.
Yeah, like, politics is a lot of work, so I'm not gonna do that. But like just like more like what's it called global issues. That's good too. Like the whole I guess Israel versus Palestine is kind of political, but it's more of a global issue than anything.
Or,
if you wanted to learn more on that, I could give you like resources.
Or black people can be racist.
That too. Oh yeah, Robbie's right. Get a soundboard. Soundboard really enhances like the experience.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Like black people can't be racist. Is that a real debate?
I mean, bigotry. Yeah, it's geopolitics, y'all. That's what it's called. Yeah, people that are bigots believe that, and I cook them on a regular. That's my job. So just find it. Like even when the whole Charlie Kirk situation happened, I think what helps me is I'm really good at creating prompts. Like when that situation happened, I made a prompt. Like the prompts that you want to make have to be so simple because these people are actually laymen. Once we leave the theological space, they're laymen. So you have to make your prompts very simple, but yet very like clickbait and intriguing. Like with the Charlie Kirk situation, my prompt was: if you support gun violence, if you celebrate gun violence, you support gun violence. This is very clear. It seems very intuitive, right? But people couldn't really grasp the idea that if you celebrate Charlie Kirk's death and he unalived by gun violence, that you, in a sense, support gun violence, whether that's directly or indirectly. So you have to find a way to make your prompt very like broad and then as you're debating the person, you narrow it down.
Yeah. Okay. No, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like
That's literally the freest game anybody can give to you. I'm not gonna lie. I really should charge you.
Because honestly, like,
I
there's a
really
lot
should
of
charge you.
people.
It's nasty work, man. Oh, damn.
Because honestly, like, there is like a lot of people trying to do this, and like, it's kind of like you have to stand out. Yeah. Like everybody is like debating like religion or like politics or some shit, so you have to do something that's like people are like, oh, that person is
Exactly.
different than everybody else.
Or you hold to something that's like that's niche. So for example, Nick, he learned the ins and outs of the logical problem of the Trinity, so he's able to defend it and defend against every objection. If you can find something niche, specifically as controversial, that will bring a specific audience. I think a lot of times people forget that social media is about adhering to one audience. You start messing up in social media when you try to broaden out your scope and try to speak to everybody. No, you have to have a specific audience you're referring to. Hey, Christine, you have to have a specific audience you're referring to, and those are people that are going to come up. And when they come up, this will bring other people that are not a part of the people you're talking to.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Man's right for the most part. I think like there's the born again atheists that some other people I've seen that have.
The born again atheist, I think she's entertaining, but I mean, like,
The thinker, all these people. They're just
That's
I
the
think the
being
assholes.
famous in this space. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't. I'm not the smartest. I get a lot of views.
Yeah.
You just gotta find something that's niche. Like for example, like reconstruction or deconstruction. That's a niche. A lot of people go through deconstruction between different religions. Like if I'm not, obviously I don't want to. I'm not supporting the idea of deconstructing, but I'm saying like figure out something niche within like the theological space is gonna be more uh, conducive to what you're trying to get towards.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, it's funny because even when I started hosting some lives, I was surprised the numbers I was getting.
Wait, what were you getting?
I was like 2 times I got at least 40 to 50.
Okay. And what was your topic?
Just does God exist?
Oh well, I mean, that's not really
The same as yours.
Uh,
But I think that's the same number that AR gets on the generally though. So
The thing about these things, you have it's like a hit or miss. Debate is always a hit or miss unless you create a community. Like you're always gonna have your views fluctuate.
Yeah.
But the things but that's the thing. People don't care how smart you are nowadays. It's your personality. We're so brain rot. Like being smart doesn't really matter anymore. Like if being smart was what mattered, the niggas like Robbie, J Mac would have a huge platform. Clearly, that's not the common denominator between success on social media. It's not. And once you realize that it's not that, and you figure out what it is for you, that's when you're gonna start cooking.
Yeah. Okay.
But you have to remember, you also are putting yourself in a better position. You show your face. A lot of people in the debate world do not show their face, and showing your face increases engagement. Who the hell wants to see a screen with the prompt on there? It's not engaging.
Yeah.
I think
You want to see
most
the
of
creator.
face people. I think Cook could get a lot more views if he shows his office or something like that.
Let's show my office.
Show like a spot like Ian, like show actual like situation, but then you look like you're in the city somewhere.
Yeah. You know what I did want to ask you, man? Like you do this thing where you have the title, but then like the camera captures like your background. So it's like a title that's like green screen and then video.
PNG. I have Adobe Premiere Pro. So I have like the Adobe Cloud, so I can like create PNGs through Photoshop or through like Adobe.com.
Oh wait, you just remove everything else except for the topic and save it as a picture.
No, I save it as a PNG.
Okay,
PNG is a transparent background.
Yeah, I can do that with like Canva if I wanted to.
Do that and then you'll be straight. I think it's just more aesthetically pleasing. Like this, like honestly, it kind of kills your aesthetic. Like having like a city in the background of your prompt. Like, bro, who wants to see that?
Yeah.
The truth hurts, but
I mean, no. Like, no, it's cool. Like, beyond it, because like I'm trying to grow on TikTok and like Twitch and like I've been grinding for a while. And like doing my thing.
Like for me, it was very easy because I was coming from like Tinder Talk, so I already knew how to move within like the social media space. And I built followings on Twitch. I built followings on Instagram. Like I understand social media to a point where I can just replicate what I'm doing. If I deleted my account and give me a year, I would have probably as many followers on that same account. Like
Okay.
it's the same thing over and over again. You just gotta replicate it, but you also have to figure out your niche and what makes you different.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I'm working on that. That's what I've been working on.
Now, you'll definitely be straight. Just right now, I would say what you need to focus on, because people are brain rot, is being as aesthetically pleasing as possible.
Yeah.
Because what is aesthetically pleasing is going to get the person in the door. Now, your charisma, your personality, how smart you are, is what keeps them there.
Yeah.
That's actually facts. That's actually facts.
Yeah.
Feel that. I'm watching like, you know.
Charge niggas for this, bro. Give this for free. Like, I'm really a real nigga, bro. Like,
yeah, no, like there's even
To be fair, what Man said is kind of basic stuff. My friends tell me too. It's not. This is common knowledge.
all social media
yeah, like
stuff
I have a
are
friend who's
basic,
like,
but nobody knows about it because they don't think about it because it's so
No,
basic.
what the hard part is that's easy. It's not. Wait, the hard part is not that we don't know about. It's just easier said than done.
No, I disagree with that. Everything that's any social media manager that you come across, everything they will tell you is so common sense. But because it's so common sense, you would never think about it. Like if it was so easy and it was so like readily accessible in his mind, he would have already done these things. Because it's so simple,
It's
you don't
like,
think to do
bro,
these things.
look, it's like trying to be a rapper. Like so many rappers are out here like doing all kinds of shit to get clouts, like
Yeah.
like OnlyFans, like some OnlyFans model. Like these things, Jesus, my dog. This type of like logic is rather is easy. It's just common knowledge. It's just sometimes it's just luck. Like, but it does. Let's say let's say Q Top. I think Q Top is aesthetically pleasing. I guess I want to call it that. But I think the difference between you and Q-Top is the fact that he is somewhat kind of smart. Somewhat. Like he could buy he couldn't he's like deathless, right? It's like deathless. He can get by sounding smart. He shows his face. I feel like if deathless shows his face, he could get a million views as much as Q-Top. You know. Shows like if deathless shows like the gym is working out and talk. Because no one understands what deathless is saying. I don't understand what deathless is saying, but he sounds smart. You know. And but
Falls, Frick, you hear me?
I hear you now.
I bet. Sorry, what were you saying, Bobby?
no, what I was saying, I'm sorry, I have a headache too. Sorry about that. What I was saying is that, like, with friends I know that's rappers, some I know that's trying to do OnlyFans or some girls, all this other kind of forms of media I've seen. They've said this to find your niche, be entertaining, be aesthetically pleasing, know your stuff. I think this knowledge is readily available. I just think that there's something about like how you actually go about that makes it work. Like quick Q talk, for example. Like let's say GT. Like remember GT, right?
No.
Okay, you
Yeah.
don't, but GT.
I
Like
know
when I came
GT.
on the app, when I came on the app, I don't think you had a lot. Now she had like 500, but I think she's just consistent. Ian, consistent. Q talk. She's loud. Coco, I think your biggest problem isn't that you're not as interesting as like bad looking or whatever. You're just uninteresting sometimes.
Uninteresting.
Yeah, I just
I mean, like I feel that. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
kind of like laid
I don't
back.
think GT is that amazing, but I think she's intelligent, right? I think Ian is not that amazing, but like Parker, but I think he's like has this punchable face, but he's interesting and he has a nice background, smart. Man, man, oh, good looking dude, but Man
No,
surprisingly
no,
pretty
no. That's
smart.
real. That's real.
Um,
Honestly, I think most of my success is pretty privileged.
yeah, um, yeah, pretty privileged.
I
I
don't think
think
I'm the
Coco. I
smartest.
think
I
Coco. I
don't
don't
think
know if
I'm the
he's that
funniest.
amazing,
I
that
just think I
crazy.
look good and I turn the camera on and I'm somewhat smart and people like that.
I think Coco. I think Coco looks decent enough too. I don't think
Oh,
Coco,
he's attractive.
but I think
I mean,
Coco is
like,
decent. But I think you're not. You don't say anything like you're not confident or like you're not outrageous. You're not
I
like
think I
Q
know what I
Talk.
need to do.
I
Like,
think Q Talk is the same way too. Like he's just loud, but
no, but
so it's a
like,
combination of like it's a combination of being like some pretty privilege, but even with that, like you don't need like a huge
No,
amount
you
of
don't
pretty
need pretty
privilege.
privilege. I'm
You
just
don't
saying,
really
for
need
me,
it.
I think
You
that's what
don't
my
really.
success
It's
comes
like
from.
you need to show. You need to show yourself. You need to show your. People want to talk to a face. So it's not like you need pretty privilege. You do need to be someone that's willing to be out there, show them, expose themselves, and then you just need to be like interested. Either you're loud, like look, born again atheist. Clearly, she's just
Born again atheist. Why do I know who that is?
she's just
He is
she's just
She debated
bored.
a
He sounds familiar.
Yeah,
she
but
debated the Reconstructionist.
Did she
yeah,
win?
but she's loud and all that. She's
I
just
would say another
he's
thing that could probably help you
so
because you're so.
stupid, bro. I'm
If you do
sorry.
choose to stay in this debate space, what you have to do to really build clout is debating the best people. Like
Yeah.
what's really helping me right now is in like the race world is I debated Covey, I debated Solid, I've debated Black Swan. These are like the top people on the topic, and they all got cooked.
Damn.
Because you have to understand, if you like, you don't understand, like it's such a mismatch when you come into like social issues with philosophy. Like, bro, you can't lose. Like, you can't. It's a mismatch. Most of the people debating you have never studied a lick of philosophy, like
Yeah.
at all.
No, I feel
Like,
that.
it's a mismatch. And yeah, I would say yeah, I'm pretty witty too. Like even if I don't know as much of the person, I'm pretty. I can track enough to like dismantle and find like the flaws in what they're saying.
yeah, yeah.
No, but like literally, like a lot of people who debate don't know anything about philosophy. They don't even know how to track a
Also,
conversation. To be
Coco,
completely honest with you.
I do think you should still go out in public and just ask questions. I do change my mind. I think that really could like do wonders for your numbers.
You know
Yeah.
who Jason Crowder is?
Jason
Stephen Crowder.
Carter.
I mean Stephen Crowder. My bad.
Oh yeah. I know who he is. Me, Robbie, and Matthew live in the same state, and we were thinking about just doing like, does the Christian God exist in public, or some
Right,
title like that.
Robbie agreed.
That could be fire.
You
Wait,
know, that's what I was
Robbie?
thinking.
No, but the thing is, like I said, no one really cares about this topic. So you have to create an incentive.
Wait.
Oh, if you disprove my argument, something so and so, I'll give you $100.
Yeah,
Like you have
Yeah.
to have something eye-boggling that'll bring somebody's attention. No one like.
Wait,
I wish
Coco,
I could
did you
really
say Robbie or
like.
Bobby?
Oh no, I said Bobby.
I
Me,
thought
Bobby,
it was
and
like I
Matthew.
didn't know Robbie lived in like even Robbie was confused in the comments.
Oh no, did I
Yeah,
say Robbie? Or I thought I
you
said
gotta
Bobby.
you gotta do that. Philosophy of life covers everything you mentioned. Exactly. Yeah, you just gotta figure out what is eyeballing. Like, oh, like once you get that, I'm telling you, Coco, you'll be overpowered, bro. Like, and I can't even tell you what it is. Like, all I can tell you is like the idea of what it is, but I can't tell you what specifically it is for you. That's gonna work with what your arguments are, what your prompts are.
Now you get it, man. That's what I'm saying. That it's different for everyone. It's not
Exactly.
something that
Yeah.
it's. Yeah, you
I think
could
I
say
just have
it,
to like.
but it's hard to like. It's not like if everyone just did it, there'll be a bunch of like. That'd be like saying like everyone that does OnlyFans should be a millionaire. But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like even with Monkey Boy, like I was talking to him about this the other day too. I'm like, bro, Monkey Boy, you're so smart. You should have way more views and way more like engagement. But nigga, you're boring. Like you've gotten so smart to a point like it's hard for a layman to even have a conversation with you. That's another thing. You have to be accessible to these laymen. You have to be able to like be able to articulate yourself that is digestible for somebody that doesn't know as much as you.
What? Wait. Hey, so man, what do you think? What you know, Thinker, right?
Thinking. The one with the
Thinker.
avatar.
Yeah,
Thinking.
the Avatar.
She's so trash.
But why do you think that she gets so much?
Because she's very good at rhetoric.
Wait,
You
who?
think so? I think so too. I don't think she's that good myself.
She has really good
wonder
rhetoric.
why
I'll
she
give her
gets
that, but she's not
Wait,
good.
who?
Thinker. She has like a avatar profile
Oh,
pic.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Her
it.
rhetoric is
I'm
amazing.
not
Like you
familiar.
go in there, you almost think if you weren't tracking, you would have thought you lost. That's how good her rhetoric is. Like
Yeah, I think because she has all her minions around you too, like
exactly that's
ready
it.
to mute and drop and kick and all that.
Exactly.
The
So it's very
minions.
entertaining.
Yeah,
Oh, like I don't even pay attention to like her arguments that much, but like I'd have to go see. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, she's
it's
funny.
just like people like it's look. There's also one person, another one. There's one lady that debates against trans. Like she doesn't have a thing against trans women, and
Mhm.
like all her minions are on this panel. So it's basically
I know you're talking about. She has a kid and like she's for like giving LGBT education to kids.
yeah, she's against that or something.
Yeah, I debated her too. She got cooked.
Yeah, but she gets like a lot of views. But it's funny because at the same time, Present does this kind of shit. Like, I think maybe the reason why Present doesn't get a lot of views Like, man, do you know Present?
Present. He has like a Afro black guy.
Yeah.
I've seen him before, but I don't know him.
It's like what's the difference between Present and Thinker? Oh, you don't know him, Sha.
Like
Yo,
Present the
Thinker sucks,
Christian.
man.
I mean, if as far as like entertainment, I think is because Thinker doesn't show her face, but she gets a lot, but it's in the same bit where they like just mute and kick and
Yo,
like
Thinker got cooked with Genesis because apparently she was talking about chaos in the world from the very beginning. But that's no scripture. She got mad that she couldn't prove that, and she kicked me out.
Dang.
Yeah, she said God was not good because from the very beginning there was chaos. I said, prove it.
yeah, like every time I try to fight Thinker, she'll kick me because she hates philosophy. Like I think this shit doesn't follow, and she just kick me and say, "Hey,
What is she good
cosmos,
at then? What is she good at debating? There's nothing good I've heard.
more like in the theology space,
I think
finding
she's
something about the
You
Bible."
got a Goonies on there like that would just mute you up and
What
kick
does
you
she
out.
just like pull out like Bible verses from the Old Testament and be like, "Yo, your faith is wrong because of
Yeah,
this"?
something like
Yeah,
exactly.
some bullshit.
Yeah, something
I
about
think she's
something
all
from the
right.
Bible verse.
Me and her are actually friends. She follows me. Like I think she's all right.
We was friends before, but
She's
she
not bad. I just don't think she's fair, and I think that's what's entertaining is the fact that she's not fair. It's like what like go look if you like her, there's no reason why you dislike Presence. To me, honest opinion. Well,
Honestly, the method is really being intellectually dishonest.
that's not true. But
I
she
think maybe it's
is,
like
but I don't think. But she is a low key almost like Presence.
Yeah, just lie, Coco. Just start lying.
No, I'm telling you, that's what it is. Like, I genuinely believe they know what they're saying and it's wrong, but because you can, oh my gosh. So, what you need to do is find a way to tap and touch the hearts of the people in the comments. So, if you can find a way to get everybody freaking lit in the comments, and this is why rhetoric is very important because this brings engagement. If your rhetoric is terrible, you're not going to be good on TikTok.
okay.
Honestly,
You have to have good rhetoric.
bro, you hate Clark, but if Clark took this TikTok shit seriously, he probably might get a lot of views. You know?
Clark is a loser, though.
Why do
I
you
don't
think you guys about Christian heretic?
yo the man, Hella Kristen.
Yeah, she joined my live and she was like talking to me. I'm like, bro, who are you?
She's terrible, man. She don't know what she's talking about.
She's a heretic, I think.
Her rhetoric's pretty weak.
Yeah, it's
Also,
weak
like,
as
it's
hell.
hard to have good rhetoric when you don't speak like fluent English. I'll be honest. Like, if you have like a strong accent, it's kind of hard to like have good rhetoric unless you like use like slurs in your language.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Like
I don't
with like
believe that, man.
with Islam and like the Muslim debaters, like the rhetoric is good because they use words that I don't even understand. Like they use like these slurs at people. Clark is smart. He's quick with stuff. I don't know who Clark is.
I think there's someone
Clark
Jimmy
is a loser, though. Clark is a
yeah,
loser.
he's
What do
like
you see?
very like toxic to people.
He's
What
like,
do you debate?
well, he's bro. That was a clip that Rob Flobby showed between Deathless and Clark.
Bro, like if I ever go on Jubilee, bro, I'm gonna be
Doubtless
so
would
turned,
smack
bro.
the dog out of Clark.
I would love
Like
to go
let
on
these
Jubilee.
niggas bring me off Jubilee, bro. I'm about to turn that whole place up.
Yeah, like Jubilee on like some kind of like God topic would be pretty cool.
No, not that. I would never debate God on Jubilee.
I would fly out for that.
I just couldn't like. I just feel like there's just too much weight, especially in us, that audience. Like I wouldn't want to risk saying anything wrong. Like hell no. Those are souls that you could literally deter from coming to heaven. Like I'm good. I'm not risking that. Especially if I'm not confident in my theology.
Bro, I think I once saw Clark say, bro said Deathless was conceptually malnourished.
Malnourished, I've seen that too.
Conceptually malnourished. Like, who comes up with this shit? Like, Clark, bro.
You're really big in philosophy?
If you could get on class level rhetoric, man, I'll just watch you on that. Just on that alone, bro.
Like, my thing is, I don't want to ever be as smart as like Robbie or like J Mike or Danny. Like, I genuinely believe they're nerds. Like, and it's not a bad thing. Like, that's just too smart. Like, I don't want to be. I feel like that much knowledge is such a burden. Like,
Not
like
really.
you're always. I feel like you being that smart makes everything you're like. You're always gonna be like extremely skeptical about everything.
I think like I want to become the next J Mike at some point.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like
that ain't gonna
being
happen.
that smart can bring such a burden
happen
on
is
you.
nasty. Jesus.
You gotta
Like,
love
I'm sure, like,
philosophy to be J
I'm
Mo.
sure that those really smart people have doubts a lot, even about their own positions, because they're so skeptical because they hear a whole bunch of different arguments. Like, that could make sense. Like, I don't want to be like that. Ignorance is bliss.
Man, I just saying, just don't want to be well informed. That's nasty work.
I want to be informed enough to engage in conversation with those people and informed well enough to defend my positions.
But
I
what
don't want to
about?
know more.
But the reason why, like, you should be skeptical about your position is to go beyond that and just like
No,
even question.
I'm not saying don't be skeptical about your position. I'm saying when you're that smart, you're skeptical about everything.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like that. That sounds like a burden.
Yeah, man. I guess maybe that's something. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's probably a balance there somehow. There's probably still a balance there. But.
Like even when I started getting into like philosophy and all that stuff, bro, like my mind was freaking racing. Like nigga, I learned way too much too fast. My brain was not ready for any of that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that
That's what
much
the
when it
best
comes to
position
this.
is. That's what the best position is agnosticism. Honestly.
I think deism is the best position outside of Christianity. But
deism?
Yeah.
I said agnosticism.
Hell no.
Really?
Agnosticism can be refuted easily, but deism is hard to refute.
Okay, go ahead. Refute it right now. I'm curious.
No, I mean it's basically the same thing, but you just believe one. You just don't have opinions on things about no God, and then you have opinions about things with the God. And you don't have opinions about things with no God. It's basically the same thing. One has God, one doesn't. Are you seeing?
I mean,
it's basically the same thing. That's what they're hard to refute.
I think for me, like agnosticism, the reason why it makes more sense. I think most atheists are agnostic because the only difference between you and a common atheist is the fact that you probably have some experience with God. You know.
The most famous philosophers have stated this as well. Yeah, I'm sure. Who want to be that smart? Hell no.
Yeah, but Coco, just
I have more. I mean, being smart for me is not really a priority.
Like,
I'm trying to have a wife.
Like
and kids.
Flavi like to watch Deathless just because, just on the rhetoric alone.
Don't worry about it. Say it again.
Flavi, one of my friends, likes to watch Deathless just on rhetoric alone. Just be on his live, just wait for him to say some stupid shit.
No, I'd be doing that sometimes. Like I wouldn't even be listening to your own conversation or argument. I'm just waiting for me to hear something you said that doesn't follow or that's wrong. I'm just gonna press it. It's really bad, but
you just gone toxic, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why I had to step away from it because I was just doing it to like really humiliate people.
Yeah. I don't think I'm motivated to do that too. Like I think I'm in this space and just for like learning. Even if I was to do TikTok, I don't think I'll do some shit like this. I'll probably do something else.
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe animation.
That could be good. Like editing?
Yeah, maybe like jokes, like some funny skits.
Okay. That'd be hard.
Yeah, I do.
Ooh, I would say, low key a niche that's untapped right now that you could probably utilize, Mikoko, is comedic like philosophy or comedic theology or atheism.
Comedic philosophy? I don't know. I could look
like
into
any
it.
type of comedic aspect of being smart. Like there's not a lot of people that like make videos about being smart and making fun of people that aren't smart or stuff like that, or make fun of like other like frameworks, stuff like that. Like no one's doing that. You could be the first person, and you think about if you don't do it right, someone's gonna take it from you, do it better, and then you're cooked. So if you do it, you have to do it the best.
Yeah. But no, yeah, like I think I
What?
would just like sit down and like journal and be like, what can I do differently? But yeah, no, I got an idea. I'll be working on it.
So no, I'm saying if that's a niche that's untapped. So if you could do that,
Just call everyone conceptually minorities.
Conceptually minorities.
Call me.
That look might help you rhetoric.
Honestly, just
I don't think you have good rhetoric unless you're mad. I only see you have good rhetoric when you're mad. You can't have good rhetoric only when you're mad. You have to be able to turn that on and get chilling.
Yeah, like any time of the day. I just start using slurs.
Bro,
facts.
Bro, when I came back to the app, I met Clark and had just.
Who would not do it? Well, I need to start getting ready for this party. I'll catch y'all boys.
Yeah,
See you
okay.
later. Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys around.